Let me go, count up. It's no imagination, it's the paper that I'm chasing. Never basis, slapping faces, say this on a normal basis. Looking at me, I'm feeling myself incredibly. I'm moving stuff, possibly you lose your health from the damage I done dealt. Kamikaze snatch up your body for autopsy. You acting hella oppy, wasting time to try to stop me. Kinda like your only hobby's hanging out in the fucking lobby. Don't get no buzz, you preach your meat just like your fucking rocket. Success the daily plan, born on property and land. All you bum niggas can't scram. If you can't scam, it's a high demand. You're whack, you need to quit. Keep your day job, use a bitch. With that switch, I'll cause a bliss. First aid kit for your upper lip. Juggernaut is causing pain. On the earth, you just a stain. It's your parents that I blame. It's their fault that you are made. Juggernaut is causing pain. On the earth, you just a lame. All your life, you've been in lame. Your pop should've left you in the drain. Juggernaut is causing pain. On the earth, you just a stain. It's your parents that I blame. It's their fault that you are made. Juggernaut is causing pain. On the earth, you just a lame. All your life, you've been in lame. Your pop should've left you in the drain. Time to pack 'em up early, yeah. South Central, what it do though? Let's get up. Eradicate the town, then call it ground zero. Mind your business, don't try to be a hero. I beat the Goliath, applying the pressure rapidly. Like your mistress, obliterating your salary. Chasing in the places that's gotta be spectacular. When it comes to life, you can't be the passenger. Break that massacre, one day be coming after you. She fired you because you couldn't manage her. Equipment clips, make a nigga dip. That shit I spit is too late. You is useless, I'm improving. I level up with beat through music. Yo, Marco Lloyd's is so lame. Do anything for clout and fame. Say man and Leo away from the Bronx all the way to LA. The force got major kickback. You all gonna need a shit back. Use caution when you risk that. South Central been a dispatch. The bomb from Bronx living on, aka King Kong Palm. King Picasso drawing arms. It's the storm after calm. Whipping in the kitchen, my adventures make a nigga get. Turn to the streets when jobs is out of reach. South Bronx to South Central ain't nothing sweet. Come compete, you get delayed.
Monster hunt on your streets when it's time to eat. TD Jakes was a freak when it's time to preach. My SmackDown Raw still all elite. Yeah, press badge type, never mind the seats. 10 toes down, no need to leech. My word concrete, still wearing cleats. Bad bitch when he still sand the beach. On the each two for me, cause it's never a reach. YouTube, I'm still high the seat. Flaw with the jaw, but I plug the leak. Got on this mic and I'm in too deep. About 1,000 by the later memes, you hear it in me. King of the block while I throw in the seat. Never met a geek that ran the streets. J's on the feet while I clutch these beats. Go Sega with the sonics like I'm Fit L3. Stay resubmitting every path to pave. Walk a tsunami cause I am the wave. Read your revelations like the end of days. Saw him in a palm frame, Beverly's made. Enemies clock out like Flavor Flav. Make it public when you took it, I was born to blaze. For me in the kitchen for the food you crave. This raw rap shit and the beef is brave. On this campaign I'm vicious. Word to sit, I'm the sickness. Champagne drink for my bitches. If she's queen, we share riches. On these hills granting wishes. If she's Hershey's, it's kisses. It's like magic, I'm twisted. Bars on Tundra, you missed it.
Whipping in the kitchen, my adventures make a nigga get. Turn to the streets when jobs is out of reach. South Bronx to South Central ain't nothing sweet. Come compete, you get delayed.
I'm from the back block, it's hotter than the matchbox. Put scammies off of laptops, Iraqis till my shit pop. Don't treat it like a pit stop or you might get your shit rocked. The flies where they kick rock, so nigga watch your snot box. The dine is always tip top, just blame it on pure hip hop. My niggas know I've been hot. I used to hit the hood and pray for knots, then hit the block with blueprint in the speaker box. I know it's cold, but the block's hot, and dirty waters like the cop. When will it ever stop? This fly city state of mind, while a nigga only grind. Cause I saw my nigga shine, but then he caught a 3 to 9 for total straps at the Coney, and plus the ops on get back, so you know I got it on me.
Fuckin' with my block, this shit gets dangerous. Fuckin' with my block, these clowns don't hang with us. Fuckin' with my block, we stay on duty. We outside, but nigga, it's a movie. Fuckin' with my block, this shit get dangerous. Fuckin' with my block, these clowns don't hang with us. Fuckin' with my block, we stay on duty. We outside, my nigga, it's a movie. I'm from the block with niggas, chase figures. We Mr. Homies is dead, we pour liquor. You dudes goofy like John Ritter. Nutcrackers from summer to winter. From the projects they call Murder Hill. You get body and they got the burner still. Don't forget the arcade and the pizza shop. Kipping out the Dr. J's when sneakers drop. 4th of July, you hear the guns pop. Got it from the back of the trunk, not gunshots. Looking for the dude with the butt on the corner. People start wilding out when weather's warmer. Hard to find a regular job that pays good. Main reason why dudes hustle in the hood. Shell shock from these cops that act racist. They don't like us, cause our black faces. Locking up innocent dudes that lose cases. These projects is known for their mazes. My block similar to Double Dragon. Right around the corner, the ops stay clashing. It's a passion, we grind for rations. Just imagine the clubs we crashing. Fucking with my block, this shit gets dangerous. Fucking with my block, these clowns don't hang with us. Fucking with my block, we stay on duty. We outside, but nigga, it's a movie. Fucking with my block, this shit get dangerous. Fucking with my block, these clowns don't hang with us. Fucking with my block, we stay on duty. We outside, my nigga, it's a movie. 1 2 1 2. Tell me how I'm sounding to you. Back again on a late night. I know y'all like, yo, this dude Sandman be doing too much, B. Why this dude keep going late? He keep on pulling up late. Like, I gotta get up to go to work tomorrow. I know. But, you know, sometimes things get in the way. Sometimes, you know, life be life, and sometimes you gotta live your life, whatever the case may be. It is what it is, you know, but I ain't forget about y'all. I ain't forget about y'all, though. I'm here. I love being here. But yeah, B. Episode 317, B. Council Roundtable. We told the old-fashioned rats to let y'all know what's happening. And any wrestling fan out there that's not living underneath a rock, Triple H, he's getting flamed from different areas, from the left to the right, up, down, whatever, southeast, southwest. He's catching shots all over the place, pause, and rightfully so. You know, this is how it started. Oh, sorry about that, excuse me. This is how it all started. At first, it was like a couple of weeks ago, I would say, yeah. A couple of weeks ago, WWE announced that they was going to have a partnership or a deal with ESPN, right? And we definitely wasn't feeling that, because it's like, are you serious? So you're going to want us to subscribe to another app? We already got Peacock, we already got Netflix, you know, and amongst others. And they were saying, starting January, the PLEs was going to be on ESPN, that particular app. So yeah, we tight. We're not trying to hear that. But, you know, fuck it. It is what it is, you know. Then out of nowhere, this dude just sprung it on us like the beginning of this week. Fuck next year. Starting next month. Poof. WrestlePalooza is going to be on ESPN. So it's like, I thought you was going to wait till next year. So it's like, damn, my dude, what in the hell you got going on? Don't you understand? Like, yo, we don't got it like that out here, man. Nowhere near. And out of all names, WrestlePalooza. And there's people out there that don't even know
where that even came from. They thinking like this dude Triple H pulled it out of his asshole. Pause. It's like no, it's actually ECW pay-per-view name, but that's neither here nor there. But they coming out of WrestlePalooza. I think it's on the same day as a AEW show, a AEW pay-per-view. Like, yo, that's why I titled this particular episode Triple H Wants Revenge. I'm gonna bring y'all down memory lane real quick. I don't know if y'all remember the Wednesday Night Wars. Yeah, there was a Wednesday Night Wars. Before I get into the story, though, I'm gonna have the comrades pull up. We can still hit that goal, you know, 10B, hit that 10 piece. I'll be generous for tonight. We normally go 15 and up, but for the late night live, we could do 10. But if you can hit 15, hit that 15 too, B. And you already know below, you see that tip jar and the ticker. Money sign Goliath 82. It could be $1, it could be $10, it could be $100. Always appreciated if you appreciate the grind. Pow! Right there. Pull up. Now, I got all that situated. This is what I was going to say. Last year, they was going to do the whole, I guess, the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble was supposed to be in Saudi Arabia, and it's going to be on ESPN. But now they're like, oh, why wait till next year if we could do it next month with WrestlePalooza? And I think WrestlePalooza, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I think WrestlePalooza is supposed to be countering the AEW show. I'm going to look it up right now. Like, basically, it's a whole bunch of WWE events counterproducing. Really? This shit slow. Come on, man. Load the fuck up. Damn. Hold on, let me see. Like, really? Why? Now does she want to load mad fucking slow? Anyways, let me see something real quick. My bad, yo. This is fucking ridiculous. Why is shit not loading up? Why is everything loading up so damn slow? Oh my god. Hold on, I'm gonna have to X out and come back. Let me see. Because my internet is tripping right now. The fuck, son? Get that shit up out of here. Okay, let me see. Try this. Okay. All right, let me see if I can pull it up faster now. All right. All right. Oh, thank you, Toph. Okay. That's my guy, Toph. He was quick with it. All right. Pull this up on the Council Roundtable real quick. Toph with the clutch save. All right. Oh, I thought WrestlePalooza was, but this basically how it's going to be looking starting the end of this year. I thought WrestlePalooza was going to be on the same time as the AEW program. But anyways, Raw on Netflix, $8 with ads, $18 with $18 without ads. And that's actually my tier. I paid the $18. I don't watch NXT on CW. I ain't gonna hold you. No shade towards them. Well, maybe a little minor shade towards them, but I really don't jack it like that. Free over the air and video on demand on the app the next day. I don't got the CW app, so I don't really worry about that. SmackDown on USA is on cable. $45 minimum on Sling TV. I got rid of Sling though. I ain't gonna lie. I don't even use Sling like that. The PLEs on ESPN, $30 a piece, included with select cable packages, Direct TV, Hulu, Live TV, etc. And you got main event at the NXT PLEs, and Saturday night's main event is moved from NBC. Well, the live taping on NBC, like when it's on regular TV, is gonna move to Peacock. $11 with ads, $17 without ads. So you do the math. That damn son. Let's see, 40. You looking at? I suck at math. I ain't gonna hold y'all. It was like what, 200? Close to $200 a month. Sheesh. And mind you, let's really be real. The product is not nowhere near good. They act like they got Stone Cold and The Rock and what these dudes in their prime, Kurt Angle, Taker, Kane, whatever. Who's sitting there trying to pay close to $200 a month for Seth Rollins and, you know what I'm saying, Sami Zayn, Jacob Fatu, and trust and believe, I love those motherfuckers. I really do. But worth $200 a month, and then not only that, you got to worry about if you want to go out or take your family out to these events. You got to worry about the high ticket pricing. Like, I seen that for WrestlePalooza, the front row, the floor seats, whatever the case may be, 6 racks. 6 bumper clot racks. Was goody? My dude Blaze tapping in on a late night. But who the hell's gonna pay? Like, even when Stone Cold and them was in their prime, nobody was paying no damn 6 racks for no floor seats, man. And it's like, what does it come with? Do you get to go backstage and chill at catering with the wrestlers? You better get some autograph merch. They should be ashamed of themselves, man. It's like you see when it comes to the pricing of everything, they're blatantly trying to pack us up when it comes to us fans. They want the casuals and the motherfuckers that got money. They want like the entertainers and shit like that. That's where they're going with it. Unfortunately, the product is not for us anymore. It's like they're telling us that shit without telling us it. Blaze said, we are too broke to be watching predictable outcomes in the same match the last 25 times. I'm telling you. That's why I always made up that joke about Vince. Like, yo, y'all sure Vince is not a gorilla? Y'all sure Vince is not booking via cell phone? It doesn't make any sense. Because it's really not much difference. Vince is on that same type of time. Remember, we used to get rematches all the time on Raw. I remember it was times where you have a pay-per-view, a main event match at a pay-per-view, and that same match will be on Raw. Literally the next day. So you look at Vince like, yo, what the fuck, my dude? I just sat here and paid to watch his match, and he's gonna put it on Raw for free the very next night. And a lot of people don't want to call Vince out on this bullshit because they tired of Triple H. It's like, no, he was on the same type of time too. And I ain't gonna lie, I thought I'd never say this shit, but Triple H is starting to get worse. And it's legitimately to say that or think that because look at what Triple H is doing in a short period of time. Triple H has only been around for like what, 2+ years? Look what's already transpired already. At least Vince been there for like what, 50 years, some shit like that. Triple H been around for 2 years. Look what the fuck happened. Now, 2024, I give Triple H that. 2024 was actually pretty decent. I like 2024. You had a few things going on. But this shit here is not it. This whole year has been like the equivalent of a baby diaper. Oh,
Yo, Midnight Run.
yeah,
Nice.
late night edition. Yeah, Henny God, we up here with it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you know, life be life and gotta take care of certain things. But you gotta get that content out there for you guys. What's going on, Tove?
Now I'm just kind of sitting back, just watching. It's like, sitting on the porch, watching people drive by. I've just kind of been sitting here, just looking at a bunch of people on social media crashing out. A lot of people seem to be coming to that realization now of what's going on.
Yeah,
PCO,
everybody. I ain't gonna lie, the only person
WWE.
I see capable for this is John. And I'm like,
But he's been,
John, like, how you
yeah.
don't get this? Like, come on, my dude, you gotta stop it.
Yeah. I just saw let me see if I got his name correctly. I don't want to mispronounce his name. Yeah, I just saw the Chiseled Adonis. Big fan of his work, his content. He's a
Yeah.
big WWE guy, and I saw about maybe 2 hours ago. He just posted a video. WWE's lost their mind. WrestleMania 70 grand tickets, front row, like crazy.
And I'm starting to think, are the UFC tickets that crazy? Because it's like, because if they're not, and I know they're not, what gives WWE the balls to price their tickets that much? If UFC is not on that same type of time.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with UFC, but
Like I heard the nosebleeds in WrestlePalooza. The nosebleeds in WrestlePalooza is $500.
yeah,
What the fuck is that?
and yeah, it is the same. It is the same night as AEW All Out. So
Okay, so it is.
yeah.
Okay, I thought I was tripping. Okay.
Mhm.
And I heard this dude Coked Out Sean, aka King Eric, he said that this dude JD basically he's saying now he's switching up saying like, oh, WWE is not paying attention to AEW. And I'm like, yo, my dude, you was one of the advocates from Jump Street saying that that's the type of time WWE was on. WWE always try to counter produce towards these dudes. Like a year or two ago. Now you changing your tune? I don't know. But that's what I'm hearing. I'm like,
And JD been
you want to switch it up now when they blatantly doing it? There's no hiding it now. It's blatant.
JD been tripping ever since he got denied that media scrum. So you can't really take him seriously.
Yeah, like what's this? People keep on bringing that up. What happened to the media scrum?
I don't know the lore. I wasn't there clearly. All I know is maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, they did a show somewhere. I couldn't tell you what pay per view it was, but multiple people have confirmed it. But AEW did a show. As a matter of fact, it may have been World's End. It may have been that show where MJF lost to Joe. Remember when he was hurt? They lost the world title to Joe.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did the scrum, and the story is that JD, he went to the scrum unattended, because when you go to those scrums, you got to get an invite. You know, and basically like he went in there, and I'm not saying it's that show in particular, but story I heard is that he went to a scrum uninvited, and he just assumed that they let him in, you know, because he's JD from New York, you know, because he's a content creator and
total
he's
mark.
got, you know, right. He just thought they let him in, and basically, like FTR
I see you,
was
my
like,
dude. I see you.
Right, basically FTR was like, you know, what the fuck you doing, man? And he's like, I'm coming in. And they was just like, nah, bro, you ain't got like an ID and shit. And you know, he was like,
Yeah,
come
like
on,
a
man, you
press
guys know
pass.
me.
Yeah.
Right. But then FTR was like,
I
nah,
see
man,
you.
here's the
I
thing.
see you. Not you. I saw Nubis.
Oh, okay. Right. But basically FTR was saying like, yo, bro, like it's not personal, but like if we let you in here, then other people gonna be like, hey, yo, y'all let JD in, he ain't got an invite, so we gotta let. So basically, they was just like, we gotta follow the rules or whatever. And anyway, he crashed out. He got mad, and ever since then, he just kind of like his content changed, because before that, he was like pro AEW, and then after that, you started seeing him like basically ride Triple H's cop and shit. So, and then that was like the rumor for a while, and then like as time went on, more AEW wrestlers like blocked him on social media, and then like the Mercedes shit happened at a House of Glory, and she requested him not to be on commentary, so then that went viral, and then Ricochet was like, you know, because I think Ricochet, he had a match with the Amazing Red, and he also requested JD not be there, and then FTR
So they got like a low key boycott going on him then.
Right. And then I know Solo Monster, like, cause Solo Monster's cool, and he's one of the coolest podcasters out there. But he's got like a show with JD called TNT.
Yeah,
he does on Tuesday. Yeah, and people been
very
asking
original,
Solo,
mind you.
But right, people been asking Solo for years, like, why do you work with this guy? Like, he's a piece of shit, and like Solo always gives very like evasive response. I think
it's
really what
all
it is,
about the money.
pretty much, but. Right, but it's getting to a point now where it's like, all right, because House of Glory is still an indie brand, but like it's getting bigger, and you know they're getting bigger names to show up there. So it's getting to a point where I'm like, yo, man, like your dude JD, he's going to be a detriment to your brand, because I know for a fact that there's a lot of indie guys out there, like big names, that they don't fuck with JD, and they're literally saying like, hey, man, if your boy's there, I ain't coming. So it's like it's gonna get to a point where like basically Solo's
he's becoming
playing
a
like,
liability.
Right. He's trying to be neutral. I'm like, man, like that neutral stance you got, it's not gonna last much longer, bro. Like you say he's your friend. All right, we're about to see how loyal you are. Because if fucking Alex Hammerstone or you know, fucking Karrion Kross or Killer Cross as he is now, if a big name is talking about, hey man, I want to come to House of Glory, but they say they're not gonna come there because JD's there, like that dude's becoming a liability to the growth of your brand. You got like big indie names that can help improve your brand. They're not going to go there because they don't want to fuck with JD. So basically, what I'm saying is Solo's going to have to make a decision soon. I know he is. It's a ticking time bomb, basically.
So let me read this real quick, Anubis, and I'm gonna let you go. Blaze said it is sad because it's not 1997 anymore. It's not 2001 or 2008 anyone. I won't be surprised if ratings just drop to BET Award ratings, 47 racks people every week. Man, look, it is going down. Like they barely. The only time they get like a 2.5 or whatever is, I guess, for like a PLE. But if not that, they barely do a 2. When it comes to Raw and SmackDown, they don't do shit. I remember they used to make fun of, like, well, TNA wasn't making that much at first, especially during the Monday Night War. But they used to make fun of they used to make fun of TNA. Remember, because TNA was doing like what was like 700,000. They about to be there soon.
Yeah.
But anyways, Anubis was good.
Oh, nothing, man. I just woke up and I'm like, wait, you're on? And then it was all weird because I worked myself into a frenzy Now I'm just collecting my brain.
I
But
appreciate you
the
pulling
whole
out, man.
JD,
Appreciate it.
nah, it's cool. JD from New York. I'm gonna be real. I don't got nothing against the guy. This ain't one of those. But I just never really knew much about him. You know who I knew about, like that people don't talk about, was BC Amplified.
Yeah, I like Beast. They both came from the Bronx.
Yeah, like I had heard of BC Amplified. I remember I used to watch him when I, used to do my graveyard shifts a few years back. So that's how I saw him. Like Solid Monster, I always knew about because of my homeboy put me on him. But as far as JD from New York goes, I really didn't know nothing about him. You know what I mean? And I was surprised that him and Solid Monster had this relationship. Because I remember Solid Monster had tried to collab with a few people and it would go either which way.
The thing with I ain't gonna lie, I always like Solid Monster more than JD because Solid Monster on some real shit. He is like a wrestling dictionary. Seriously. The dude is very smart when it comes to all right. I heard JD say some bullshit from before here and there. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. But when it just got a little bit too crazy, and then not only that, when people was disagreeing with them, automatic block. I'm like, damn, my dude. And you know what's crazy? He never did that towards me because we had a back and forth a long time ago about this dude Enzo.
Wow.
And I was flaming him, not disrespectfully, just hitting him with facts.
The thing about JD is, like, if you don't like a wrestler, that's fine, but focus on the wrestling. Don't make shit personal.
I think he nitpicks. He'll try to find anything. It's like, yo, come on, my dude. Like, now he's just nitpicking. Like, my dude.
He brings up.
It could because it'd be all right. For instance, he'll have the same smoke. He won't have the same smoke for like what Triple H is doing. Like
Because
when
he
it comes to
wants
Tony,
paycheck.
right? When it comes to Tony Khan, I didn't hear what you said. I don't want to agree. Seem like I'm agreeing with you. I didn't hear what you said. What you said again? Say again.
Because he wants the paycheck. That's
He
why.
wants their paycheck. Okay, yeah, I won't. Hey, I won't be surprised.
Right.
But he won't have that same smoke.
Yeah, what I was going to say is nothing with
Triple H,
JD.
like with Triple H, you'll be like, oh, da-da-da-da. But when Tony Khan, oh my God, he's a fucking idiot. He's just like, yo, damn, my dude.
My thing about JD is like if you don't like a wrestler, that's fine. Like you're entitled to your opinion, but focus your criticism on the wrestling. Don't bring up personal shit. And he brings up personal shit specifically like with female wrestlers. That was really when he lost.
This shit. Who was it again?
It was
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss and
that was wild.
Yeah,
like I don't like Alexa Bliss either. Like I don't particularly care for her, but I'm not gonna attack the chick personally. I don't know Alexa Bliss, so like
what he said was crazy. What he said,
right.
She seems like the type. She just lays there and takes it. I'm like, my dude,
right? Like that's just like that's. Yeah. Like that's like I got into their DMs and they turned me down and I'm salty about it. And then like when he called Jade Cargill a black bitch, like he
like that. I never heard him say that because when you told me that from before, I was like, I swear to God, I never heard that.
Yeah, he deleted it. Yeah, he tweeted it and he deleted it. But he called Jade Cargill a black bitch, and when he did that, like he basically exposed his hand because, like, number one, like you shouldn't be calling a woman a bitch anyway. But like, if you're gonna call her a bitch, all right, call her a bitch. But you called her a black bitch. Like, you don't like Alexa Bliss either, but you didn't call her a white bitch. But you called her a black bitch. So the fact that you put black, like, if you racist to your core, like it's sometimes stuff just slips. You know, you say before you think. So he deleted that shit.
In the heat of the moment, that's when your true colors reveal.
Hey, real quick though, I ain't trying to jump on that, but I'm gonna say this.
No, go ahead.
I've always had a love-hate relationship with Alexa Bliss. I liked her when she first came out, like when she was still in NXT doing the whole fairy gimmick. I don't know why. But when she started getting more exposure, they just started showing how little she does and knows. That was my only issue. Plus, they took away her dive.
Yeah, it's like Alexa Bliss, she's more of a gymnast than a wrestler.
Yeah. But as far as JD goes, like, yeah, like I said, I was never really that familiar with him, but every time I ever heard about him, he was doing stuff like Toast just said. That always bothered me.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing with JD and shit. Like, why I used to watch them because he knew what he was talking about when it came to most of his takes. I was like, you know what? I fucks with this shit. Like, yeah, he'll say his little goofy shit here and there. And I was like, nah, I can't really, But the shit that he was saying, like, especially what really got me was with the shit with Hogan. Cause this is what he did. Like, he did a video about Hogan and he covered both sides of the coin. He acknowledged like, yeah, he's a racist piece of shit, whatever. He acknowledged all that shit. And he's, talk about his accolades and good stuff. Cool.
Yeah.
The next show, he had a black co-host named Jesse.
Yeah, I know about
right.
Yeah.
And they
from Chicago, right? The dude from Chi?
Right, it's Chi-Town Smart.
Yeah,
right.
Chi-Town Smart.
Yeah, so they normally do Dynamite together. And it's like he low-key try to gaslight this dude, Jesse. I don't know if that's the right term, but basically he did like this. He was talking about the whole appreciation, how AEW did their appreciation to Hulk Hogan. And he complained about they just had Shivali say something about Hogan on Collision. And he brought up this other dude that be lifting weights. I don't know the dude name. And he was like, I don't know why they just don't get over it. Right, Jesse?
Oh, hell nah.
Yeah. And I'm like, and Jesse didn't fall for it. Jesse was like, yo, you can't tell people how to mourn, tell people how to, this and that.
Yeah, tell people how to feel.
Yeah.
He probably invited a black co-host on purpose. That's the same kind of time.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was about to say.
That's that tactic.
Because while you did the video by yourself and you were talking about Hogan, you covered both sides of the coin, but you wanted to sit there and throw Jesse in the fire and be like, oh, I don't know why they just don't get over it.
Yeah. And I got to throw in one thing about, since Hogan was brought up. I think one of the best retrospectives on him I heard was from, you guessed it, I'm going to say Jim Cornette. It was one thing he said on there that really stuck with me. He said, Hogan had such an incredible life without all the lying. I don't know why he bothered to lie all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, he did so much things that people hadn't done that he didn't need to lie about any of the other stuff.
Like, we actually seen it on TV. Like, my dude, you literally traveled the world. Like, why lie?
You were the man.
The other thing about JD too is, like, listen, man, like it happens. Like, you're not going to meet one person on planet Earth who hasn't taken an L at some point. We've all said something that we were wrong, or we did something we were wrong.
Yeah, that's how we learn.
Like, it is what it is, man. So, like, when you take the L, just man up, take the L, move on. So, like, I blocked him like 3 years ago, but I know going into AEW All In, he was talking like all this mad shit about Mercedes Moné, talking about like, oh, she's cancer, oh, she's
hold on, see, I ain't gonna lie. When it comes to that, that's what I'm saying. This one shit gets a little more, because
nuance.
Making a lot of sense.
Here's where he's wrong. Here's where I was going with it. He was saying,
let's really be real. Mercedes is not really doing anything.
She's got creative control. Oh, she's gonna bury everybody. Oh, she's gonna bury Tony at All In. Blah 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 blah. All In happened. They had a very good professional wrestling match, and Mercedes lost clean as a whistle. And it's like, okay, you were wrong.
Well, of course, like,
so when it came time for the review,
hold on, Tove. Like, of course, because that's the Caucasian persuasion. Like, you ain't gonna do that to Toni Storm now. She's like the god of she's a top star of AEW, period.
Yeah. What I mean is like, when it came time for his review, because he reviews shows like most podcasters do. When it came time for his review, he was going through the matches one by one. And I don't fuck with his shit, but I fast forwarded to the Mercedes Tony thing because I wanted to hear exactly what he said. And this is how I could tell, like, this dude's a bitch. Because for every match, he did like a full review of the match, like the entrances, their attire, spots they did, and all that. But he basically summed up the Mercedes Tony match in like 2 minutes, and he was just like, "Well, word got out that she had creative, so she decided to lose on purpose so that it would look like she didn't have creative." I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Just admit that you were wrong. She doesn't have creative control. They had a good match. She lost. Take the L and just be like, hey, my bad. Hey, that shit I said about Mercedes, my apologies. Like, seriously, if you did that, there's a good chance maybe they would invite you to a scrum. There's a good chance that next time an AEW wrestler goes to HOG, they won't request you to be off commentary. But no, he doubled down. And I'm noticing this, like, I'm not trying to come to conclusions, but I've noticed this about a lot of MAGA people, because I know he's a MAGA guy. A lot of these MAGA dudes, like, they don't want to fucking admit when they're wrong. They double down on the simplest, dumbest shit. Like, when Trump got in trouble with that fucking porn star, Stormy, whatever the fuck her name was, he was
Stormy
saying,
Daniels.
right, Stormy Daniels. It's like, dude, like the news, like, I'll say this, I'm not even a Trump guy. Like, the news completely over exaggerated. They said Trump had an affair. It was not an affair. They had a one night stand. That's all it was. I'm not judging Trump or anybody, but it's like, dude, you've clearly fucked her. The evidence is overwhelmingly there. Just come out and just say it happened. Remember that time a couple of years ago when Kevin Hart came out and admitted he had like a little fling on someone that wasn't it? Like he knew that shit was gonna leak. He got ahead of it and was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and just fucking get my story out there, bury the lead. Did people dog on him? Absolutely. But you know what? Since he came out and admitted it, what happened? People moved on. Because there's always going to be another scandal. There's always going to be another story. That's how the world is. There's always going to be something else.
Yeah, there's always going to be another story. But at the end of the day, if people see that you're genuinely sorry and you just want to just, make amends and live your life after that, yeah, people will definitely forgive if it's genuine. And I got you right now. I got you. I just want to respond to what Soap's saying, and you go right after me.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, right? Yeah, JD definitely be on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna lie, Mercedes Moné, she really is not doing anything. Like, I remember we had that debate from before. Yeah, she's great in the ring. You know what I'm saying? And her thing is this, right? She got all these belts. She hasn't built one story yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, the stories that she been going through was very light. She had a chance, 2 chances to have good stories. One with Tony Storm, the other one with Athena. The shit with Athena, like I said from before, they just dropped that storyline right after the Owen Hart tournament cup match. They just dropped that, and knowing that she cheated to beat her. Remember, she held the tights. And
they couldn't tell a story with those two anyway, because they're both heels.
So what?
Yeah, they have great heel versus heel matches.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and then
not gonna really
the second
work,
one, and then the second one, like I was saying with Tony Storm, when we was watching this shit, I was like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I complained about her winning on the belts from before, and I was like, you know what? Fuck that. Go all the way with it. Have her be Tony Storm too.
They did tell a story. She lost.
What? What story? All they did was make out and eat steak.
Tony Storm said what the story was on the Go Home promo. She said, Mercedes, you need all these belts to make yourself feel good, but I only need this one because this is the only belt that matters. They went in there. They had a match. She lost. She wasn't good enough to beat the world champion.
The build up to the story was whack. Don't do that.
Let's talk about it.
All they did was eat steak.
Let's talk.
Eat steak and make out. That's all he did.
All I was gonna say was
the story was basically Tony saying you're good, but you're not on my level. Simple story. We've seen that many times in wrestling. I mean, not every story needs to be Shakespeare. As a matter of fact, they're still telling the story. When they had the match on Dynamite this week, every time Tony and Mercedes interacted, Mercedes was like shook. Athena kept on saying, snap out of it, snap out of it. It's like she's got PTSD. Tony's like the one person she can't beat. That is a story. She's shook. She's the one chick she can't figure out. Now, if you don't like that story, fair enough, but it's a story.
But yeah, here's the thing though. My bad at Anubis. Go ahead, Anubis. Go ahead.
All I was gonna say was, it's easy to dog on Mercedes Moné. They've been doing it since she was Sasha Banks. And it gets annoying because I'm always like, fuck, I don't want to have to defend her because I'm not a defender or a fan guy. But I will say this: as much creative control as she supposedly has, then how come there aren't any stories to sink teeth into? How come there isn't much to go down? I mean, just because you got creative control don't mean they got anything for you. Even if you do tell them you want that, who's to say Tony signs off on it? We know Tony does this. He plays with his toys and does it the way he wants to do it. And he doesn't do that great with the women. He does as good as he can, which ain't very good. Hell, I'm still mad at WWE because they already screwed over Natty. Already. She killed it over at World. She killed it at World Collide.
About the new gimmick she's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they just went like right after the blood sport Natty. They went right back to regular Natty, literally right on Raw, just to wash the taste out of our mouth.
See, here's the problem: if they do that gimmick in WWE, she's losing, and then it's not special there. So that's the problem.
I think this dude Solomon said the same thing. He was saying like it's good to keep that Natty away from WWE because all they're gonna do is job her out.
Yeah, and she doesn't deserve that because I've been an advocate of hers since she first showed up in WWE because I had been watching her outside before she got in there.
Right, because to have that gimmick in WWE, you'd have to do like vignettes and montages and shit. You'd have to familiarize that audience with that character because WWE fans that stay in the WWE bubble, most of them, they don't pay attention to the indies. They have no clue about. I mean, we already see this with the Motor City Machine Guns. They come out and they get cricket reactions because the fans don't know who they are, and they never did any vignettes to build them up or anything. So
yeah, this is weird. Just throw them out there, like just have a good match. And they really be having really good matches. Like almost every single match that they've been in has been good.
Well, the weirdest thing for me is I'm like, I do know that there's a bubble. I've seen the bubble. I've watched people in the bubble. But the only time that I get weirded out by the term the WWE bubble is I'm like, how did everybody know who AJ Styles was when he showed up?
Because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why everyone knew who AJ was. And I say this as somebody who doesn't even play wrestling games. I know the popularity of like fan creations and wrestling games where you can like create wrestlers and stuff. And I know that you can like download wrestlers and stuff. They've had AJ's moves in wrestling games for years, even before he was in WWE. Like the Styles Clash, the Phenomenal Forearm. People have made custom AJ Styles wrestlers like as far back as like Raw versus SmackDown, like 2007.
Well, not really the Phenomenal Forearm, but definitely the Styles Clash.
Hey, wait, that's because the Styles Clash was the crash landing first.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Fuck Michelle McCool.
Right. And another reason why the fans knew who AJ was because AJ was a TNA guy, and even the hardcore WWE fans who didn't watch TNA back then, they knew about guys like Kurt Angle and Christian and Booker and Nash and Steiner. Like all those dudes went to TNA, so they heard of them. You know, it's like the Kenny Omega thing. Like before AEW started, WWE fans like they heard of Omega. They may not have been familiar with him, but they heard the name. You know, Will Ospreay, Omega, Jay White, Okada. Like even though if you didn't never watch the match with them, they heard of them before. But the Motor City Machine Guns, like they were a tag team, you know, and like TNA and Ring of Honor, they're both great singles wrestlers, but Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, they don't have the pedigree, you know, like a Bobby Roode or a Samoa Joe. Or
with Alex Shelley, they fucked him over in TNA good. They did him real good. They did Chris Sabin the same way. I remember Alex Shelley had a couple of good gimmicks that they just didn't do anything with. Like remember when he used to bring the camera to the ring?
Paparazzi Productions.
But he'd also like record his matches. Like it would look like he was recording his matches himself, so you could see what he did right and wrong.
Well, if you think of it, at least they put the belt on both of them. They was both former world champions.
But they didn't like Alex Shelley wouldn't blade. They didn't like that Alex Shelley wasn't going to blade. Conan was talking about that because Alex Shelley's like, I'm not blading.
Henny God said 10 years ago. Hold on, Henny God said 10 years ago, fans aren't current fans. You damn right. I be seeing like, especially when it comes to the younger black women that just got into watching wrestling, like said like they started watching wrestling like 5 or 6 years ago. It's just so innocent. It's like, yeah, I get it. Like y'all fans, and it's awesome. It's cool. Yeah, but y'all still ignorant to the fuckery. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all don't know what type of time these motherfuckers be on. Because you have like a back and forth, like I'm telling you, ma, this is gonna happen. We know this, like we've been watching this shit for like decades.
You know what I miss though?
Much hasn't changed.
I miss back in the day, like I miss when I used to hear, like when I would hear how people got into wrestling. It was always this, and you hear it with a lot of wrestlers. I watched them with my grandparents because that's how I started. In Chicago, it was me and my great grandma watching wrestling together.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And then my cousins. But there ain't no grandparents that are into it anymore in this generation.
Yeah.
Because you used to get into wrestling because you had one or two grandparents that watched it.
Where the big mamas at? We don't have no big moms. Y'all no pops.
Exactly. Those were the people they would be watching that. And that's, you'd sit down with them. They get you your bowl of cereal and you'd sit there catching up.
Hell
You watching wrestling with them.
I used to have like an egg and cheese sandwich or something.
But you know what I'm saying? You used to sit down with the
Right.
Yeah. And it depends on what region you were in, because I'm talking about the 80s, the 80s to the early 90s.
I used to watch Lucha Libre with my uncle and my moms and all that.
Yeah. And none of y'all spoke Spanish, but you all was into it.
Exactly.
Like you sit up there, you're like, man, I really hope Lightning Mask guy really handles that dude, because that wasn't right.
We didn't know who the hell was fighting. We just seen the botches, and that shit had us crying.
Yep. The bad move setups, because I love Lucha Libre, but when they do too much, you can see all the flaws.
Oh man, that shit was fucking comedy.
But yeah, to what you were saying at the start of the show,
Yeah.
I had made a prediction at the end of last year, going into 2025. If you remember, I said that my prediction for WWE is that they're going to start the burnout in 2025. And when I made that prediction, it was more of a prediction of them having too many shows back to back to back. Just too much stuff was going on, and that's exactly what happened. But now I think they may burn out on a different way, because just the current model of like the little chart that we provided earlier. So it's like, all right, you got to sub the Netflix to watch Raw. You got to sub the ESPN to watch the PLEs. You got to have cable to watch SmackDown. You got to have, to an extension, you got to have.
I'm gonna pull it up right now. As a matter of fact,
right. So it's like too much money. So it's getting to a point now where it's like, at minimum, you're gonna have to spend like a good amount of money just to watch. Because I know that's happening in sports too. Like if you want to watch all the football games or the basketball games, you got to sub to like 3 to 4 different streaming like stuff. Like it's that's the big problem the NBA is going through right now. Yeah, there's the thing right there. So when you consider all these different streaming services, and then when you add in the fact that like all these pay-per-views cost like fucking 3 houses, like the WrestlePalooza thing.
Pull up on a calculator right now. I'm gonna add this all together on a calculator.
Wait.
There's like over 200, maybe 200.
That's a good point, but you also forgot to factor in the other thing. There's marks like me that couldn't afford to go to events and stuff. I couldn't afford the pay-per-views, and I always found a way. Thanks VPNs.
Of course. Yeah, VPN stock's about to go up the roof.
You should have seen my video. Well, not you didn't have to see it, but there was a video I made. It was called Po Kid Geeking. It was about how I grew up a gamer and an anime and a manga fan, despite the fact that I didn't have the money to be a fan of any of that. I went to libraries and everything. Like, this is before the internet, so I went to libraries. I went to bookstores just to get my anime and stuff. I was hanging out in Sears and Toys R Us and any place that had WoW music.
Like, did you have like a FAO Schwartz around your way?
We didn't have an FAO. We had KB Toys, and we had we had a KB Toys and a Toys R Us. I had the mall, because every mall, like any store that had music in it, like CDs and stuff, CDs and records, they always had like a PlayStation or whatever. So that's how I got to play all of the systems as a kid. And also, when I was a kid, I was lucky enough in school to have friends who had older brothers who were wrestling fans that were into tape trading. Getting them by mail. They mail out some stuff to a friend overseas, and a friend overseas would mail them some stuff. So that's how I knew about the Japanese wrestling and whatnot.
But altogether, that's $108.
Right. Mm-hmm.
$108 for the month.
Right, and then when you consider the ticket prices for these shows, like the WrestlePalooza show, like
$5,000.
Right, it's like
motherfucker, you need your ass whipped.
And CW actually has a free app, I think, still, if you have an Xbox. Because I used to watch the CW shows on there.
For now, because what's going to happen is because I was so upset when this happened too. This is my first time talking about this shit. I had a Crunchyroll. I had a Crunchyroll on my Wii U, and for whatever reason, like on Crunchyroll, there's
I thought
like
you was talking
ad,
about like an egg roll or something. Like,
No, it's an anime app.
right, yeah. Crunchyroll is an anime app where you can watch anime on it, and
that
I
shit sounds
downloaded it on my
delicious.
Wii U like almost 10 years ago. And Crunchyroll had like ad-free service, and then there was like a premium service.
Yeah.
If you have the ad service, you can watch like 15 minutes, and then you got to watch like it's like annoying like 5 minutes of ads. Well, I figured out a loophole. For whatever reason, I don't know why. If you watch Crunchyroll on the Wii U, there were no ads. There were ads on PS3, ads on PS4, ads on Xbox 360, ads on Xbox One, ads on PC, and ads on your TV. But there were never ads on the Wii U. And I'm just like, did they just forget? Maybe they forgot. So I took advantage of it. And so I started watching a shitload of anime, especially like when COVID hit and everything was like shut down. I caught up. I watched like so much anime. But then they made an announcement at the very beginning of 2021 that they were shutting down Crunchyroll on the Wii U. And I was like, fuck, someone figured it out. I was like, someone figured that shit out. Someone figured out he's like, yo, man, we got to shut this shit. And to be fair, Wii U was dead. They had moved on to Switch. But
Yep.
that can happen. That can happen. Sometimes companies, they'll be slick like that. So if you can use a service like on an old console from like 15, 20 years ago, they'll be like, nah, man, we got to shut that shit down. So you got to pay like everybody else. You know?
I never knew that though. So like,
Yeah, there was loopholes on certain apps on depending on what system you had because they didn't have the service wasn't perfected on certain spots. I'm still mad that Sony got rid of Crackle.
Yeah, they did.
Crackle was dope though. That's why I used to watch my old Fist of the North Star episodes. I told you I'm an anime head.
I'll never forget. I got the game as a matter of fact. What's Fist of the North Star was that? I forgot the name of it.
Was it the Game Boy one or on PlayStation?
It's on PS4.
Oh, okay.
Was it 5? One of them. But it's
If
open
it's on
world.
5, it's probably updated 4.
Right.
It's open world and shit. And there's one time you could drive around in your Jeep. Collect treasure, go to different parts of the desert and shit.
Classic.
Right.
So Blaze said AJ was always a star. People may not have watched the whole TNA show at the time, but they stayed for the AJ Styles matches. I know I did. Oh, AJ was amazing, man. Like
he was phenomenal. You can't say he wasn't. No matter like he's one of the guys where I let slide his personal issues as far as like views and stuff goes because he doesn't really bring those to the table unless you bother him about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't hear AJ putting out political views or anything like that. Like when I still never forget this when CM Punk started talking shit to him on Twitter.
Hold on. Before you get into that, let me read these comments real quick.
Oh, okay.
What I also observed is a lot of more female fans since Total Divas and the rise of women's wrestling in WWE. Most don't watch outside of WWE. That's a fact. You know, people got to understand. WWE is not the only promotion in town, B.
Right.
Also, shout out Black Star ended up getting TNA Plus because of brother. Yeah, shout out to Black Star, B. That's the guy right there.
Black Star, dope. And Wrestle Toddy. She's awesome because she watches every event she watches is not WWE related, and you gotta love that.
And he got said, my grandma watched wrestling. I ain't found out till I was 11. She stopped once Taker came into play. Grandma ain't play that. Yo,
yeah.
A lot of females, especially older women that I've been around in the past, they love Bum the Taker. Blaze said, watching wrestling is becoming a chore. I don't feel fun. No, I don't. Me too, sir. And yes, hit that thumbs up like the Samoan Spike, right in the throat. You know what I'm saying? Lay down edition, B, episode 317. Triple H wants revenge, and you know why I said Triple H wants revenge? Remember, this motherfucker, he embarrassed him. Tony Khan embarrassed him in the Wednesday Night Wars. A lot of y'all motherfuckers don't remember because y'all probably wasn't. I'm not talking about my guys over here, but the motherfuckers is in the bushes or gonna watch us upload. It was a Wednesday Night Wars. What 2019? Yeah, 2019. AEW versus NXT. that AEW embarrassed Triple H, and he can't let that shit go. He like Drake right now. He like Drake, like he can't let that shit go. He's like, nah, you embarrassed me in front of my father-in-law. Nah, but we gotta spin the block on that. And that's why they on this type of time with AEW right now.
Yep. Of course he's on that type of time. He can't of course he can't let that go.
And I think
I don't know why you thought he could.
And I know he's got like the heart issue that he had. As I understand it, it's hereditary. His dad had it, his great granddad had it. So, you know, but I like to think, whether he wants to admit it or not, taking care of NXT, watching his guys and girls get called up, and Vince just
I fucking said that. On this fucking very show, I was like, yo, my dude, you don't want to punch this motherfucker in his fucking face.
Right.
He's literally bringing your babies up, whatever, to the main roster,
right,
and just burying them intentionally. And Triple H will not say nothing. We would cape for this moron.
Yeah,
we were like, yo, hold on. We was like, yo, Triple H, what is going on, my dude? Why is this dude bringing your talent up and just burying them? What's
making
going
everybody
on with that? And then he would sit there and say, "Oh, the old man knows what he's doing. If you don't like it, you don't watch." What? That's when the first time I started looking at that dude sideways, like, yo, what, like, the fuck?
Wait, I'm gonna spin the block on what I was saying before you read the comments, though. When you was reading the comments out, what I was saying about AJ Styles, the reason I kept keeping on with him is because when CM Punk was talking all that shit, he tried talking shit to him. AJ just tweeted, "Yeah, well, I don't respect you, so whatever." And I was like, cool. And this was way back, CM Punk wasn't in WWE yet or nothing. But yeah, this was CM Punk would do his crash outs on people on Twitter. But he did that. He tried doing that to AJ Styles, and AJ Styles said, "Well, I don't respect you, so whatever."
But yeah, that Vince calling up his people and destroying them, and then the natural health issues of his heart, and then going to war against AEW and losing that war, and then I think all that shit added up, and that probably didn't do him any favors stress wise. So.
Yeah, it did it. And it's like, I'm not gonna have like, oh, I was death on the man over a fucking television show. It's never that deep.
Nah.
But he's definitely done a lot of bullshit.
He just fucked over Bret Hart.
I just think he's a bitch. I just think he's a bitch. It's like I ran it earlier. Like, everybody takes L's. All of us take L's. You take L's. I take L's. All of us take L's. So if you take an L, I'll respect a person more if they just man up, take it on the chin, keep it moving. The exact moment, like you just said before, I wouldn't wish death on him either. I'm happy that Paul Levesque, the man, will be here to, look after his daughters, make sure they all become great mothers and all that and stuff like that. So great. I'm happy he's alive and stuff like that. So God bless Paul Levesque, the man. But Triple H, he's a bitch. But the moment he lost me was when he did that interview and he talked about, oh, okay, well, what about the war, right? Because they lost, and they did lose because they left Wednesday and they moved to Tuesday. Like, and people can say, well, they were only contracted to be. Oh, they fucking lost. If they had won the war, they would have stayed on Wednesday. They moved to Tuesday, just like when TNA moved to Monday and they fucking got their ass kicked. What happened? They moved back to Thursday. Yep. Whoever moves back lost the war. If we can sit here and agree TNA lost, you can sit there and agree NXT lost, right? And they just said, so how do you feel about that? And he just said, they are developmental. Big deal. Like, motherfucker, you called NXT the main roster for like 5 years straight. And it wasn't like a post-media scrum thing. You had the actual NXT wrestlers like Gargano, Ciampa, Adam Cole, Keith Lee, Aleister Black. You had them saying on NXT television, NXT is the main roster. It was a third brand. It was not maybe when you first started NXT, it was developmental, but
and that's when they was in their prime. And that's what NXT was. They had everybody there at that time.
Well, it was, and they actually kept along with storylines and stuff. They actually kept up with their thing, and that's the problem. They don't do that anymore. But
some of those takeovers,
as
Some
far
of
as
those
this whole not
takeovers they
taking an
did.
L thing, hold on, wait. Besides the whole not taking an L thing that everybody can't wait to say, the Triple H can't take it. Neither could Vince. Vince fucking went crazy because XFL went out of business, and then he tried to start it again, but then COVID fucked him over on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I was an XFL fan because I lived in Vegas and we had the Outlaws at the time. So yeah, I was upset it was gone.
Outlaws.
Yeah.
Right.
But all
Yeah,
I'm saying is, yeah, Vince couldn't take an L either. So it's not. I'm not just gonna put that on
Look
Triple
what
H.
Triple H. Look what Triple H learned it from.
Exactly.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. I'm like,
right.
yeah.
So when
I'm not
he said
disagreeing
that
with
shit,
you.
right? When he said that shit, like when he said, because that was a lose statement for me. When he said you beat our developmental, that's when I knew everything I needed to know about Triple H, and that's also when I knew everything I needed to know about NXT. Because it's like, all right, so you're moving the goalposts because you fucking lost, and now you're telling me after 5+ years of saying NXT is the main roster, now it's developmental again. So it's like these motherfuckers are going to change NXT whenever it's the most convenient for them. When it's convenient, it's not a developmental. When it is convenient or when it's not convenient, it's not developed. Like this show doesn't matter. I realize I came to that realization. It doesn't matter. Watching the show is a waste of time because you can get caught up with a completely different character from what you were doing. Whatever storyline they're doing, like, can be built up, and it just gets interrupted. Like Ali, right? Ali was cooking in NXT. Like what he's doing in TNA right now, he was starting to do in NXT, and it was actually getting really good. And just when it was going somewhere, you're fired. Why? Because fuck you. That's why.
I think he's what he did, like, what was it, Retribution? That was supposed to be the Retribution storyline. He just amped it up and made it like I guess more modern. I don't know.
Yeah.
When it comes to what he got going on now, him as a president.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, I would love to be upset about all that, but I can't because I know this is going to happen. I've already been disillusioned, and I don't even get to catch NXT as much as I like to, and I actually like that show because they got to the point where I knew better than to follow WWE for a good storyline. I barely can follow AEW anymore because they keep, like I said, as long as they keep Bobby Lashley from getting beat by just any old chump, I'm still with him.
The problem is NXT, there's no top stars. There's only,
and that's hard to do when they give you a weird time slot on the CW. I mean, that was like SmackDown could barely keep it together on UPN, and UPN was much bigger before they became the CW.
That's why I always said NXT, like Black and Gold NXT was great, but to me NXT, like pure NXT, it was at its best, like in that 2014 period before it blew up. It was balanced. Back then, you had like Tyler Breeze, a homegrown guy. You had guys like Tyson Kidd, main roster dudes who weren't doing anything, but you sent them down there to reinvent themselves. And then you had like indie guys like Sami Zayn, Neville, Finn Balor. Like it was a balance, it was a combination of indie dudes, homegrown people, and main roster people that they already had reinventing themselves. Like that 2014, 2015 period was a good balance. Then as soon as Owens and Joe showed up, as much as I love them, as soon as they showed up, they basically just said, fuck it, we're going to turn NXT into PWG on steroids. And they stopped making people. They just hired a bunch of indie folks, and in that regard, even though Vince is, Vince, I can't disagree that Triple H failed because he succeeded and he failed. He succeeded in making a really good brand that was like the best thing in wrestling at the time. It was way better than anything we were getting on the main roster, but he failed in the sense that his job was you're supposed to build the next generation of wrestlers, and he didn't do that.
I'm gonna shoot him a little bit of bail,
Before you do that, I was gonna say this, like, why he failed or how he failed is because of Vince. Vince threw this dude in the crossfire because remember AEW when they first came out, they was building momentum very, very fast. Because rightfully so, when AEW first came out, it was fresh. The shows was actually pretty good, and NXT, it was still good, but you got the new kid on the block.
Well, the reason, not just the new kid on the block, they had money. Like they actually had money to be able to compete at that level at somewhat.
Right.
You know, they had WCW money, which was important to build a good brand. I mean, if you're trying to compete with the big dog, that's how you got to do it.
They were fucked anyway when they competed against AEW, and this is before before AEW even started, before we even knew like what the company would look like. I was telling people like NXT's fucked regardless because I was telling folks, in the worst case scenario, AEW fails, that's it, they're dead, and we're back to where we were to begin with, where no alternative. Worst case
Definitely
scenario,
don't want that.
NXT, right? Worst case scenario for NXT, NXT fails, they move to Tuesday, or they go back to the network, which many say they were better off on anyway, ourselves
Yeah.
included.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So AEW had more to lose. NXT had the breathing room to fail, and for that reason, I knew that Triple H wasn't going to really try as hard as because here's the thing, right? And it's funny too because Triple H said this himself. Like as many times as the Monday Night Wars, or just I know a lot of Gen Zs and like younger, I know they're tired of hearing about it. But the thing about the Monday Night Wars that cannot be understated enough, and this is the part I just think a lot of young fans just don't get. WCW and WWF were legitimately trying to put the other company out of business. This was not like if we lose, we move days. It's like, no, whoever loses is fucking dying. And that's what happened, So that's why like Vince was hungry back then. That hunger, because it's like, all right, man, either we gotta fucking get out of this rut or we're out of work like in the next 3 years or something.
And I think that's what Triple H is trying to force on Tony Khan. He's trying to force his hand. Triple H wants to go to war with AEW. He wants to smoke.
Too bad.
Like it just is what it is. He's making it more blatant now, and that's what I was saying. Like this is Tony Khan's chance. Like my dude, he wanna go head to head with your shows. Bring down them ticket prices, man. My dude, your company don't really make much money as is. At least if you bring down the ticket prices a little bit, you probably can hit a quota here and there.
Or cut those pay-per-view prices in half.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like my dude, you see what people's complaining about. It's all about supply and demand. People want to have a good time with decent prices. Fill that void.
But one thing's for sure, just the way right now what's going on, it's not sustainable. The amount of money that you have to spend just to follow the weekly WWE product, it's not going to last. It's going to blow up in their face. Eventually, people are going to get. I mean, people are already getting priced out. But at this moment, though, because this is the thing too, and I think this is why I like John in particular. Not trying to throw shade, but I'm why people like that are just very dismissive. Is they have like this. Well, if it's that bad of a decision, they're still selling out and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, but for how long, bro? Like you can't have like these shows that's like where it costs like $6,000 just to get it. Like for the absolute like nosebleeds, it's like
and let's really be
minimum.
real. They're not selling shit out. I think that's one of the reasons why they making the price the tickets so expensive, so they can hit that quota, so they can hit that margin. Because motherfuckers ain't really going to the shows, so they figure like, you know what? Maybe if we double the price on the ticket, we can hit a certain margin. Like if this was just like for instance, they gotta sell what like 20,000 tickets. I'll say they gotta sell $20,000 tickets. I said 20. Excuse me, 20,000 tickets to hit that quota or whatever, and only motherfuckers that showed us like what 5,000. They gotta fucking then damn. We gotta fucking they did that math and they was like, nah, we gotta big these prices up because nobody's not coming to these shows. And it's like, why should we come to the shows if all you're gonna see the same fucking match every week?
And the other thing too, I'm glad you mentioned that. The other thing too is the amount of money a company makes is not a reflection of the product. Both things can be true. You can have a show that sells out, but the show itself can still not be good. And it's like a lot of defenders are saying like, well, if it's that bad, why are the shows still packed? And it's like, and I'm like, yeah, they're packed, but for how long? That's because as you said at the very beginning, not only are these tickets expensive, because we've been dancing around it this whole time. Like, yeah, the shit's expensive, but the product itself is not even worth the even when wrestling was fucking at its peak, it wasn't worth this amount of money.
Hell no.
If you're paying $6,000 to go to this Palooza show, what exactly are you paying $6,000 for? 5 matches, like these basic 5-match PLEs where it's like 60% of the show is ads, entrances, and filler stuff like that. So I think this is going to blow up in their face. But what's going to need to happen is that more fans collectively are going to have to come together and just be like, you know what, we're not going to do this shit. And it's getting there. It's getting there. Like, I'm not trying to.
Yeah, it's an outrage.
Right. I'm seeing more and more content creators, like, because I mentioned the Chiseled Adonis earlier, because I know Adonis is a big WWE guy. And I was waiting for him because I know he does like SmackDown live streams and Raw live streams. And I'm like, I haven't seen him really do a wrestling stream in a while. It's been a couple of months. And then today he uploaded like the video WWE lost their mind. I'm just like, okay, so he's not like, because he does all kinds of other content. He doesn't just focus on wrestling, but he's a big content creator. So for him to kind of admit, yeah, they're doing too much, I'm like, okay, now I'm waiting for like, all right, what's Wrestle Talk going to do? They still haven't really said anything. You know, we just mentioned JD earlier.
Yeah, because they pay the bills, especially Wrestle Talk. You already know WWE pay their bills.
Right. The only time they really spoke up was when Triple H killed the NXT UK brand. They were upset.
That's all I don't give a fuck. I'm glad I don't have no allegiance to none of these motherfuckers. I'm gonna say what the hell I feel. You know why I'm saying what I feel? Because I actually pay to go to these damn shows. I pay hard-earned money. More than likely, it's 2 tickets. Me and my lady, like, so I'm gonna speak my fucking mind. If I like what I like, and I'm definitely gonna shout it out, like, you know what, I'm digging this, I'm digging that. But man, look, y'all dudes is bogus as fuck. But go ahead, Anubis.
What I'm saying is, I'm pretty much like Open Mike Eagle about it. Open Mike Eagle used to be on a podcast called Tights and Fights. He even did theme songs for it. If you don't know Open Mike Eagle, he's a rapper.
Yeah, I never heard of him.
Yeah, he's an alternative rapper. Real crazy, but
okay,
cool. Anyway, when he stopped being on Tights and Fights, I was kind of like, you know what? Even though I like Tights and Fights podcast, even they were getting fed up and they weren't really talking about it as much as they would. And as far as it goes, I wasn't paying those prices ever in my life. I'm not going to start now. I can barely watch it when I can. So
exactly, like motherfuckers ain't pay that much for The Rock or Stone Cold, even Bork Laser. None of these motherfuckers. Why we gotta pay this much now for Sami Zayn and Gunther and like no, like, and I like Gunther, Sami Zayn and whatever, but I'm not paying no damn. Get the fuck out of here. You better move around.
Well, that's because of the UFC thing. Because people would pay like that for UFC, but even UFC fans
so they
like,
do. That's what I was asking before you had pulled up. So they do pay that much. So it's like, but TKO, like, y'all motherfuckers can't do the same thing with wrestling. It don't work like that.
Nope.
Like, why none of these motherfuckers don't do their research when it comes to WWE? They just sign these deals and then just move forward with it. Like, all these motherfuckers really that dumb?
Why would you condition your fans to pay $9.99 with your WWE network, which was a good deal? Then you moved.
That was a great deal.
Right. Then you moved to Peacock, and it went from like $5.99 to $6.99 to $7.99. Like Peacock
$10.99.
Right. Like Peacock went up, but it was still reasonable. Yeah. Why would you condition your fans to basically pay about $9-10 plus tax for well over a decade to now all of a sudden it's like, okay, by the way, you got to drop 30 plus on top of whatever else. Right. Like, that's just not going to work, And the Nick Khan guy, he's convinced that like, people, right. And the Nick Khan dude,
I'll be back, y'all. Give me a second.
Okay.
You know what though? Like, the other problem is that like all them old guys said the same thing. Like, they kept exposing the business, and it's harder to do that, and you can't set an overall price like that for your stuff. That's why the territory system was important, because they could set a price, but they weren't so crazy about it because you're trying to get families to come in. but they're not even really bringing no reason because they keep trying to say that they're like we keep saying about not having stars. There's nobody to go pay to see because you made sure that nobody's bigger than the program so that nobody can leave you or that you can't lowball anybody. Like you didn't bother to even think about, talking about The Rock's contract negotiations till it was about to expire. And that's what insulted him. And that's why he left in the first place. But people don't like talking about that.
It was funny at first, like when they were doing the international shows, because the international fans are just really starved because they don't get wrestling like that. So when they were over there, like in France or Puerto Rico or wherever, when they say stuff like, you guys just broke the biggest gate of all time. And they're like, yay. It's like, yeah, you guys are cheering being fucked up the ass. Like, yay. Like, that was funny at first. But like, now it's like, okay, like, now I look back on it. I'm like, wow, was that like a test? They were testing things out to see how, to see who would fall for it. So,
well, hell, Kendrick Lamar's stadium tour has been making millions. But here's the difference. He's a star. They don't have any stars.
yeah, clearly.
Yeah. You got to make stars. That's how this works. Like you had your regional star, you had your world star. That's the way it goes. And I know they don't want nobody to be bigger because they're afraid of losing them again, but it's like, that's why you create a lot of stars. You got to get people to draw money. And none of these people, and this goes for both companies, none of these people are engaging me to want to go in my pockets. Because I can feel the leash.
That's because the modern philosophy is that they want the brand to be the star.
That's great.
They try not to make a particular person. I think that the reason why they don't want to make stars is just my personal opinion. I've always felt this way. I think that Vince had PTSD from the NWO because essentially Razor Ramon and Diesel were just Scott Hall and Kevin Nash dialed up to 11. So then when they left and went to WCW and then formed the NWO, Vince tried to do that lawsuit, but he couldn't do a lawsuit because Hall and Nash were themselves. So it's like,
I know about that.
Yeah. So it's like his own weapons were being used against him to the point where he had no choice but to create new superstars like Stone Cold, The Rock, and so on and so forth. And I think I think it gave him like PTSD, and it made him from that point on go like, all right, I'm not going to let anyone get bigger than the company anymore.
Well, the problem with that is that this isn't just a wrestling that's not just in wrestling. Any TV show, anything you have anything like that, any anime, any TV show, you got your favorite character, the guy you tune in for on anything.
The protagonist.
Yeah, not even just the protagonist. You might tune in for the antagonist. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like, it's just the way it is. And I'm talking, and that goes for any television show, any book you read, any comic book. Like I've always been a Luke Cage guy. One of my favorite characters.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because I saw a really interesting tweet in AEW. Like,
wait! Before I wasn't finished yet. I was just gonna say, and it was gonna go into the comic book thing, just like this new Superman movie. Everybody went to go see Superman, which let's go to see Superman. You know who the breakout star was? Mr. Terrific.
I figured Crypto would have killed it.
Mr. Terrific. He just exuded aura through the whole movie. Like every time he was on scene, he stole the show. And it's not just me saying it. It's been all talk about it online, all kinds of stuff, and a lot of toxic people online. So I'm like, that he got over. And Mr. Terrific, I've always known about, but not everybody knew about him. But the reason why I'm glad he got over is because the same guy that played him played Darwin in X-Men First Class, and they killed off the one guy that can't be killed to fucking tell a story.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was fucking stupid. Yeah.
But him playing Mr. Terrific, you know what I mean? Like I said, everybody went in to go see Superman, but everybody came out wanting to see Mr. Terrific.
Any guy said Mr. Terrific was swagged out.
Yeah, he was complete swag, and everybody. I want that fair play jacket in the worst way.
Since you mentioned the comic book thing, that reminds me of a really good tweet I saw.
The tweet. Sorry.
So like in AEW, you got Hangman and MJF, and basically like the whole centerpiece of the feud is MJF is like, okay, Hanger, if you're going to be the main character, I'll be the antagonist, right? Because people always say in AEW, Hangman is the main character. Okay, cool. Well, using WWE, it's like I saw this tweet, and it was like when you really think back from the moment COVID happened and everything shut down, when we went into the PC era and then the Thunderdome era. Anyway, the tweet was basically saying that the main character in WWE was Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Like everything was built around him. It was
Yep.
his story. It was his legacy. It was his thing. And basically, the tweet was saying that was why the product, like in 2000, 2020, 2021, 2022, basically up until Roman lost, that was why like the product was better, was because everything revolved around Roman. But then the minute that he lost and Cody took the title, it's like, all right, we lost the main character. So essentially, the tweet was trying to say, if you look at the current WWE product right now, who's the main character? And it's like, yeah, there really isn't one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
really
one more thing, Sandman, and you, Toph, to go on this comic book thing. Okay, best way I can put it for me, like, okay, when you know of Batman and the main characters is usually Batman and the Joker, right? But not everybody's favorite villain's freaking the Joker. Not everybody's favorite part of Batman is Batman. Some people like the Riddler more. Some people like Two-Face more. You got people to choose from in this universe.
I never heard of a lot of people liking the Riddler. To tell you the truth.
Oh, there's a lot of people that like the Riddler. Like a lot of not comic nerds, but nerds in general.
I think he's okay. The Riddler. I'm not saying I'm not no shade.
I'm just saying he's one of the varsity team.
Look, Henny guy said he like Mr. Freeze.
See what I'm saying? I'm just saying that's part of the varsity team. Of they're the varsity team.
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah. It's just that even if you're not a big fan of the Riddler, you can't say that Riddler is not a star.
Yeah, what makes Riddler work?
Penguin and shit.
Yeah, the Penguin's the star.
What makes Riddler work is like of all the Batman villains and really all the Batman characters, like period. Edward Enigma is like legitimately the smartest character. So any crime he does, not even Batman should be able to figure out is him. But because he's such a narcissist, he can't help himself but leave riddles.
He can't help but leave
the riddles. Nobody would know it was him. But he has to let people know it was him. He's not the type of guy that'll do a crime and be low key about it. Like, no, he wants the world to know, like, hey, it was me, So that's what makes him such a funny character.
This is the bomb. Cowardice leads to envy that stops the sky, Batman. You can figure that out to stop this bomb that no one else can figure out. And it's like, come on, man, stop doing that.
You got to figure it out in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
You know what Riddler character is highly slept on? The one in Gotham.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a great show.
Gotham was lit. I was one of the OG. I was down with that show. I followed it all the way, and I thought that was one of the better iterations of the Joker.
Thank you for mentioning that because there
will be no Batman slander here. Batman is not gay. Even if he was gay.
He's a little gay. Look, I'm sure. Let me tell you something. I'm not saying that he's gay. They're gay.
Had mad bad chicks.
He had mad bad chicks, but him and the Joker had bad bitches, and they'd stop fucking their bad bitches to go fuck each other over. That's gay.
Yo, hold up. We gotta go back. Thank you for mentioning this, man. I love Gotham. I got fond memories of watching that show. That was like one of the last shows I watched right before I finished school. And
Gotham was awesome.
I should have mentioned this shit like 2 years ago. Gotham, that was the last relevant thing that Jada Pinkett did.
Yes.
The character she played in that show, Fish, I think was her character's name.
Yeah, Fish.
Right. Her character did not exist in any, that was a character that they made up specifically for her. And I'll give her flowers. She did a really good job with the character.
Yeah.
Created, when she said, one of my favorite lines on there, sorry, I got to mark out again. When she said, "Why would I want to kill you? You're my creation. Without me, you're not the Penguin." And I was like, oh, that's good line work.
She got that from Biggie.
It doesn't matter.
Why would I play you?
It don't matter. It don't matter who writes the line. It matters how you deliver it.
Well, she did a good job on the show. Now I'll give her flowers because when they made the character, her character didn't exist before that show, and when they were in the script writing, her character was just meant to just be in that one season, and that was it. But her character was so good, and her acting was so good that she was like one of the most liked characters. And so when they finally killed her off, wink, wink, it was like done in a questionable way. And so then in the aftermath, they were like, yo, do you want to come back full time? And she said no, because she thought she was above the show. And I was like, hold up, bitch.
Yeah.
You may have been a star.
Damn.
I'm like, you may have been a star. Like, and they're like, no.
No,
Like,
no, you know what it is?
star.
I heard Will Smith had something to do with that. That's
That
why
makes
her
sense.
character got killed off in the first place.
Hey, Toph, you just triggered it though, because I can imagine Vince McMahon saying that to the Rock and Stone Cold when they got, hold up, bitch. Austin 316.
Did they bring her back though? They did kill her
They
off.
brought her
Didn't she
back
come
like at
back
the
in
very end.
the next
Like,
season?
at the very end, they brought her back like to make a cameo. But she talked about it like on the Red Table Talk, and this was before the Will Smith thing, like, you know, where she talked about the But her tone of voice when she said it as if like the show was beneath her, and I was like, hold up, like you were a star like in the 90s, no doubt about it. Like you were in movies and you were in TV shows, but basically as soon as we went to 2000, like you fell off. The only thing I remember her in was Collateral, Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. Good movie, by the way.
And I barely remember her in that movie because Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise killed it. They were so awesome.
I ain't watched Collateral in like forever.
They were the best part.
Once though.
Tom Cruise showed you why he's a great actor.
Right. So when she did Gotham, I was like, because she was speaking as if like she did them a favor. I'm like, no, they did you a favor. They didn't need you. Like you could have used that show as a platform to be back in public light, but like you're like, oh no, I'm better than them. Like,
I don't know.
So that was kind of like that was.
That's what I heard. I heard Will Smith had something to do with that.
Maybe
it could be. I mean, people forget he has a lot of power.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially at that time, he had a lot of power. Like,
right.
And he was the one. He's like, "Oh, your little show." He's like, "Yeah, that's cool. Let me go grab another 20 mil and tell you to sit your ass down."
Oh yeah, what was the name of that show? Yeah, damn. What was the name of that show? I never watched it, but my lady had told me about it.
All of Us.
Damn.
The one he executive produced.
No. It's not a Hawthorne. It's Hawthorne, right? Henny
yeah, I remember Hawthorne.
Yeah, I've heard of
that. Did not
I never
last
watched
at all.
it. Like she was supposed to be like a doctor or some shit.
Yeah, it was
Hawthorne,
on Fox.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't tripping.
Yeah.
It went out like that other show with Tay Diggs. It just came and went. But I remember. Yeah. But yeah, that's what all I was saying was like, yeah. But the point I was making in terms of wrestling is you do have your main star, but everybody had their favorites. That's all I was trying to say. Just like in the Batman universe, yeah, Batman and Joker are the stars, but everybody else gravitates towards some other character. Like that dude said about Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze had a great storyline, which also made me mad at Batman because Bruce Wayne could have been copped the dollars to stop him from having to do all that shit to get the money to find a killer.
I would say that's the only negative I can give the Arkham games. The Arkham games are like absolutely goated. Love them. But if I have to give them one criticism, everything's about the Joker. And it's like, damn, like, you got a bunch of other villains you can use too, right? So
hey, if you guys get a chance, I think a show that if you guys are into that, I think Harley Quinn does a good job of highlighting everybody, even though the show's focus is her. And it's
Thank you for mentioning her.
What, Suicide Squad?
Yeah, Harley Quinn on Max. But yeah, Harley Quinn was never in the comic books. Arlene Sorkin did such a good job.
Birds of Prey, I think it's called.
No, it's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
Right? Yeah.
It's an adult cartoon.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for mentioning that too, because that's how you can tell right there. Like nothing against Margot Robbie. I think that's her name. I'm sure she's a nice lady. Like her portrayal of like
she was the one that was playing with Will Smith's nipples.
Right. She was the one that like really started the fake crazy girl culture. Not Margot herself, but just her portrayal of the character. She was the one that like she basically like I don't think she intended to, but like her portrayal of Harley Quinn, it started like the fake culture. Because so many people, they always thought that Harley Quinn was a thing. I'm like, no, she was never a thing. She was an original character that was
made for the animated series.
Right, an animated series. And the character was so good,
they had to bring her in.
Right. So that's how you can tell like who's a real Batman fan and who's like just a bandwagoner.
Yeah, but Harley Quinn, what the problem is that she was crazy, but she had a lot of depth to her, and they don't ever portray that in the movies.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of like all the Batman villains have a lot of depth. Just like in the Batman movies, all of them. My one critique is that Batman did just go around beating their asses. Batman legitimately would try to help every one of them.
You are ready to risk it all for Brock's daughter? No.
No,
Next question. No.
I don't. You know what? When I see her, you know what I think of? That episode of Saved by the Bell when Zach Morris had that one jock chick after her, and he said, "I got nothing against her personally, but I don't want to go out with nobody that holds the school shot put record."
Can you imagine like going to Brock's house to pick up the daughter, and then Brock says, "So what time you bringing her back tonight?" Like, really? The fuck?
I'm bringing her back 30 minutes before you tell me I got to.
Like, motherfucker, I came in because she owed me money. Like, I ain't taking her nowhere.
Right.
You came to shake down my daughter for money? No, she told me to come pick up the money.
I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I will die on this hill. I still think the storyline idea I pitched a couple of years ago of Brock pinning R-Truth and being the 24/7 title champion for shits and giggles, and then
would have been awesome.
Right, doing segments of jobbers breaking in Brock's house and then Brock systematically killing them off one by one. Wrestling's supposed to be
that would have been. Yeah, I was here for that idea.
You know
what?
Right.
That shit. Have them.
Remember what Solid Monster said about Brock?
Down one by one.
Yeah. Remember what Solid Monster said about him? He's like, Brock Lesnar spends his free time throwing arrows at Moose. I didn't say shooting arrows. I said throwing arrows at Moose.
Right.
What you gonna do to him?
Let me ask y'all this though. Let me ask y'all this. Who y'all think look better, her or Charlotte Flair?
I don't like either one of them, so it doesn't matter to me.
Why would you put me in this predicament, man? I thought it was cool, man.
What predicament? The predicament to choose between.
You did say Charlotte Flair could get it in the dark room. You did say that.
Yeah. She is flexible, so.
Well, what's sad about that is, remember, before she blonded her hair up to be like Dad, she didn't look bad when she was still Ashley Flair. This was NXT.
She got more than that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the blonde hair was a start for me, and I'm just like, oh God, you look just like your father now. At least when she had her own identity until she leaned into the Ric Flair thing.
When she was in NXT, she looked like Seinfeld.
Every time I hear Tay Diggs, I laugh. Tay Diggs was like, he was born in the wrong era, because if he was like a young up and coming actor today, like nobody would care. Tay Diggs was victim of what I like to call "it's still real to me, damn it," because he was like in a bunch of like black comedies and like black romance movies, and so all these girls had like their interpretations of like, oh, he must be that guy in real life.
They try to force him like a sex symbol.
Right. Then when they found out he was married to a white chick, they were like, how could you? Because it was like the early 2000s and like interracial dating like wasn't like trendy yet. Now you can date interracially and like nobody gives a fuck.
Now you know wait, you know who got it bad? You know who pissed me off with that? And the one person that pointed out to me is my mom. And that was, she said, it's unfair what they did to Michael J. White, because Michael J. White in black films is always this romantic lead or some hustler or something like that. But my mom's like, I like Michael J. White whooping people's asses because that's what I've always seen.
Oh, yeah.
Because Michael J. White, people forget that he's a master martial artist that could, and like he did a couple of action movies, but the girls in America only care about him when he's being that sexy lead, I guess. But I'm like, no, I want to see him beat people up. He's got one of the best kicks in the world.
I think Michael J. White could have been a much bigger star. He just chose not to. He was like one of the first celebrities, I think, that kind of let me know like Hollywood isn't all it's made up to be. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna do my own thing. What's that movie he did? Shit, man. I
Blood and
watched
Bone?
it. Thank you. That one.
Blood
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
I still watch that shit to this day. Like, you know, I love like those like
how could you not? It had Rufio in it.
Yeah, right.
It had Rufio use it.
Hey, it had Rufio in it. How could you not like the movie? Okay.
This dude had Tim's on though.
Yeah.
My dude had Tim's on and was catching dudes with foot sweeps like Street Fighter. Where are Tim's? You know how strong your ankles gotta be to do some shit like that?
But yeah, not like that's how I feel. Like I think Michael J. White got it worse than Tay Diggs because they put Tay Diggs out to be that way.
Heady guy said he'll take one for the team when it comes to Brock's daughter.
Yeah, Godspeed, Henny God. I'll
Yeah,
bring you
but
back to Dragon Balls.
Brock Lesnar, to this day, Brock Lesnar always confused me because he looks like a big corn-fed dude that racists would love. But when you find out Shelton Benjamin's the godfather of his kids and his absolute best friend, that's
Oh
always so
God!
funny to me.
Don't say that. Shelton, he's the one black guy that Brock knows. He said, "I'm not racist. I know Shelton Benjamin."
But Brock Lesnar doesn't like anybody.
No, actually, Brock is actually mad cool.
In fact, I remember when
He's real down there. He like what you said though. He don't like people though, but he's
he's not a people
he's very
person.
respectful. He is very respectful.
If you approach him at the right, I've seen him people approach him and like in the right environment, cool guy. But if you just try to come bother him while you're doing his thing, then yeah, because you're being a dick.
He's more chill now than he was like a decade ago, for sure.
Totally. Yeah. Remember when this dude upped the blick on him? Cornette, he upped the blick on him.
Cornette was like, I will blow their ass.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, though.
Yeah,
remember, she was like, yo, don't grab me over here. I just got this shit pierced. And Brock kept antagonizing us, saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna grab it, I'm gonna pinch it real hard."
Because that's what I mean. Like, but that's what I mean. I've always heard Brock didn't like anyone. Hell, even Paul Heyman said he's like, when I wasn't on the show and I was removed from WWE, he said, "Vince, I need my Jew back." I'm like, damn.
That's wild.
Like, Brock, you don't like anyone. I can see Brock saying that about anybody. Look, it ain't right if I don't have my white boy. What? What is wrong with you?
And he got said, also, it's absolutely not okay to interracial date to black women. I don't know. I read it right. I know I read it right.
Yeah, but he threw the 2 C's in there, which lets me. I'm like, are you a Crip? Damn it!
Oh man, gang activity.
I'm not in the gang. I just get tired of them badly spelling my words.
Oh shit, Henny guys, he said Brock don't want them problems. Okay, Henny God, I hear you. You're gonna bust him over the head with a half a gallon of empty bottle of Henny.
Yep. Hey, that's what Jay Briscoe said when he was talking about fighting an MMA fighter. He's like, we'll square up and then I'll hit you in the head with a fucking beer and my brother will start kicking you because this ain't MMA, bitch. Man, I miss Jay Briscoe.
Shit, speaking of the Briscoes, we don't got TKO over here. I guess TKO was taking a nap.
I was too. I was surprised you were on.
I appreciate y'all for pulling up. Seriously, late night shit. But I do got the card over here for Forbidden Door. You know what I'm saying? We could go over it real quick.
Oh, okay.
And just as a reminder, before you go over the card, remember that Forbidden Door is in England. So the show's starting much, much, much earlier in the day. So I believe the starting time is 1 p.m. Eastern.
Which makes it like 3 p.m. here.
It sucks. This is gonna be on Sunday, man. They need to keep their pay-per-views on fucking Saturday.
Yeah, I can flex a Saturday because Saturdays I get off of work early, but Sundays I'm all night.
And then I gotta wake up early on Monday. I'm not gonna be sitting here watching that shit for 6-7 hours, and I gotta wake up early in the morning. But let's get to it. I can see the card.
Sorta, but I'm on a cell phone, so I got to get to my house and get to my TV so I can get
you good. We'll let you know. We'll let you know what we got going on.
Okay.
You can see it, right, Toph?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
All right, cool. So what we got first? We got the TBS Championship, the 4-way match with the ladies. Mercedes Moné. You know what I'm saying? We got who the fuck is that? Persephone?
Is that a Greek character?
Who the fuck is Persephone? Right? Who the fuck is that?
Persephone was a stripper I used to know, but that was when I was a teenager.
This is shit I be talking about with TK. Like, yo, my dude, who is that? Anyways.
Video package, damn it.
Yeah,
Alex Windsor, we know Alex Windsor as Osprey's lady.
Right.
Really?
And Bodzilla. Oh my god. Who are these women? Who the fuck is Bodzilla?
I think she's a Shimmer chick, I think.
But how are they number one contenders for the TBS champion? Just get the belt off of Mercedes and move on.
So who's going to shock the world?
Fucking Windsor and move on.
Yeah. I was gonna say the only man. I'm with you on that because I don't know who any of those people were outside of Mercedes. I didn't even know. I didn't even know Osprey's girl. Give it, and it sounds worse. Give it to Osprey's girl. It's like I didn't even know they were dating.
Yeah, I think they married, right? Is that his wife or fiance?
I don't know.
I think so. Yeah.
She's decent though. She her finisher is a sharpshooter.
Oh, okay. I like a good Scorpion Deathlock.
Yeah, she's decent in the ring. I don't know how she became the number one contender either, but that's neither here nor there. Toph, what you think? Who you got?
Yeah, I got Mercedes winning. Yep.
All right, fuck it. Next. Yo, these motherfuckers, Bro Dito and FTR, that match on Dynamite. Yeah. I already told y'all how I felt about Bandito. He's one of my favorite wrestlers right now.
Mhm.
So shouts go out to them and FTR for having a really good match on Dynamite. But since that match ended up being a draw on Forbidden Door, it's gonna be a triple threat tag match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. You know, the Hurt Syndicate, they're the champions, and who y'all got with this?
Unfortunately, FTR is winning.
I think so too.
Only logical way to get the belts off of them.
And
I can believe is in a
I
four-way.
think MJF is gonna get involved.
But to what you were saying, though, yeah, Bandito's awesome. I'd even go, and it's hard to say this because AEW's roster is like loaded, but I would go as far as to say I think Bandito is AEW's as good as he is. He's like AEW's most slept on wrestler. You don't see him much, but every time he's on TV, he kills it every single time. Wherever city they're in, like they can be in a smart city, they could be in a casual city. He always gets the crowd on their feet. They should be using Bandito way more. He's like one of the best luchadors in the world.
Yeah. What you think, Anubis?
Well, it's the only logical way to get the belts off the Hurt Syndicate without it. That's the only way I can see it. I've always said this. I can't believably see them losing the title unless it's in like a 3 to 4-way match.
And especially if they're going along with the story with Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
Because that's what I see happening. Like I guess I see like at World's End, Edge and Christian winning the tag team belts in AEW.
That's fine. The Hurt Syndicate being tag champions, this was a little nice detour, gave them something to do. But now it's time for them to do what, we actually are here to see them do. It's time for them to go singles. We want to see Lashley and Shelton have the singles matches. I mean, I want to see, like I joked about a couple weeks ago, I want to see like Lashley against Osprey, Lashley against Omega, Lashley against Swerve. Like I want to see
Lashley against Orange
Osprey
Cassidy.
Try to use exactly Lashley, Orange Cassidy. I'm very curious to see these matches, and I actually think they'll be good. People sleep.
Hell yeah.
I don't like it when people disrespect Lashley and they just say, "Oh, he's just like a big intimidating guy." Like if anyone that says that, you don't watch his TNA run. He had matches of Aries, James Storm, Bobby Roode, Kurt Angle. He wrestled all kinds of styles. And he
wait. And you know what else people forget? He also legitimately was in MMA and was dominating people.
Right.
But it wasn't UFC, so nobody cares.
He's still undefeated in the Bellator.
Yeah.
Right.
And Strike Force.
And
he's legit.
He still hasn't been pinned.
Yeah,
but it's not UFC.
He's undefeated in AEW also.
Yeah.
I just think I'm not saying Lashley's like, fucking, I don't know, like the Great Muta or whatever, but I've just noticed like his style and the way he wrestles, he doesn't get in. And Shelton's great too. Not sleeping on Shelton. They're both great.
I was about to say, no Shelton disrespect to be tolerated. He has no personality.
Not
That's
over
all
here. Never
yeah,
over here. Never.
Yeah, they're both phenomenal. It's just I always just think that Lashley just doesn't get the credit. Like he's able to adapt to any style. I feel like you can put him in any promotion and he'll make it work. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that. You know what I'm saying? And if they was to lose the belts this weekend, they'll still be fine.
Oh wait, I forgot what I was trying to say this, but I went to the bathroom. That's why I had it on mute. But that's what pissed me. That's the one thing I heard from JD from NY that pissed me off when he was talking about MVP and the Hurt Syndicate's arrogant.
What he say?
He's talking about MVP said that the Hurt Syndicate ain't supposed to lose and how he's screwing over Tony Khan. And, he basically just went out of his way to diss on MVP over a fake thing with speedball.
I just want to say this, like the whole jet speed thing, regardless if the story is true or not, they shouldn't be losing to, right. It's not right. Of course, I know. I'm just entertaining the haters.
Yeah.
Even if it's true, they shouldn't be losing to fucking jet speed.
Right.
Anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, thank you, Tove. It's like, yo, right or wrong, let's really be fucking real. Do you really see that actually happening? No, it's not logical. These dudes are fucking, like, come on. Let's really be fucking real. Like, this dude Lashley could pick up this dude. I keep forgetting this motherfucking name, the karate guy.
Mike
pick
Bailey.
his ass up, pick Mike Bailey, speedball punk ass up, and beat this dude with his fuck. You know what the fuck I'm talking about.
He
could beat both of them by his damn self. He can spare both of them in half.
Right. I like Kevin Knight. He's got potential. I'm not sure if anyone else is or not. He actually applied for WWE, and they turned him down. That's why he's in AEW, and I don't know why they did that because he's a great wrestler. So
because they already got enough. Like especially if you got this dude. What's his dude name? What's my dude at NXT name? I forgot his damn name. Javon Evans.
Oh yeah, Javon Evans.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, Jet Speed's cool, and they'll definitely will have their time one day, but not now. The Hurt Syndicate losing to Jet Speed. I'm gonna make Sandman pop here because it's gonna be a funny reference. The Hurt Syndicate losing to Jet Speed would be like Road Warriors in their prime losing to fucking High Voltage on Saturday night. Like that's just not
man. What's the name? Kenny Chaos and what's the name?
And you know what's crazy? That just shows you like just how crazy wrestling was back then. Because High Voltage today would be champions compared to
they'd be like 5-time champions.
Yeah. They were jobbers for that era. For that era, they were jobbers. But today, they would be top. They were like 5-6-time champions easily.
You know what's funny though? Like everybody talks about how Bobby Lashley will fold these fools in half, like that. You know what I mean? But I'm like, so will Sheldon. He will turn these bitches into pretzels. People keep forgetting that. Sheldon's a very qualified wrestler.
Isn't MVP like a legitimate like black belt too? I'm pretty sure he is.
And also, I've never heard of him having that big of an ego when it comes to like storylines and wrestling. Because I've watched
very humble.
Like he tutored, like when him and Ricochet had their match. He made sure it was an MLW. He made sure Ricochet got a ton of offense, but he told him how to match.
You said MVP? I thought you said last year. We said last
year. No, MVP.
Oh no,
and Ricochet had a match. They had a match.
He's not as humble as Lashley. I thought you said something else.
No.
I don't believe any of the Hurt Syndicate bullshit. To me, it just screams of because I never talked about it. Like when the shit leaked, to me, it just sounds like AEW's been quiet for a while, and by quiet I mean they've just been
talking to the dirt teams.
Right. There's been no drama or anything. It's like they're going to work. It's been quiet for a bit. Things have finally settled down. It was almost as if like it's been too quiet. We got to start some shit because that's what happens, you know. Because that is the thing. Like every now and then you'll have like, oh, it's been too quiet. We got to make up some shit to get the,
But didn't Sean Ross Sapp try to spin that narrative allegedly?
Yeah, Sean Ross Sapp tried to start that narrative.
Like, come on, why would he do that?
Right, but the shit doesn't make sense because he tried to say that like MVP doesn't like Mike Bailey, and it's like, all right, first of all, let's just assume it's true. Who gives a fuck? There's people in every job that don't like their coworkers. That's not news.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why are you being messy? Just pulling shit out of thin air.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like somebody was trying to start. I feel like somebody was trying to start some shit because like it's been quiet in AEW for a while now because there hasn't really been any drama or whatever. Like even if MVP and Mike Bailey do hate each other, clearly it wasn't an issue because they've done segments on television with no problems.
They've done segments behind the scenes together. Like nobody, on Mike Bailey's Instagram, I think there's him and MVP taking pictures, and MVP goes, "Fuck you," and he goes, "Fuck you," and they take the picture together.
Right.
Yeah, they did it on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Right.
During Dynamite, they did that segment.
That's just
that's not
segment. Like, do you know how many wrestlers don't like each other and we'll never know because it's not reported? Because that's not news. You don't gotta like someone to work with them. Like what?
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on.
Let's make some money. That's what it is.
We got Edge and Christian. They clicking back up against. Are they still the Patriarch? I don't know, but when it comes to this dude Kill Switch, when he came back and he had that vignette with them injecting, I guess, the venom in his veins, and I like that shit. That was hot. How they brought him back.
That was cool. Yeah.
That shit was hot.
Every time I see Kip Sabian, I just think of Kip James. I'm sorry.
This is his first match in like how long? When's the last time he had a match?
It's been a while. You know, he almost died. It was pretty serious there. So really happy he's doing good. Yeah. I think his oxygen was low or something. He was at home with his wife and he just.
You're talking about Kill Switch.
Yeah. That's why.
They said Kip Sabian. Okay.
No. Luchasaurus was at home with his wife. He got really weak and really tired, and he just collapsed. And his wife called 911. They came. His oxygen was like below 50, which is not good at all. One of his lungs was like collapsing. Like I don't know. He got some type of an infection. Like it was like pretty close there.
Yeah, I heard.
So I'm happy he's back. You know, and I hope that seeing Luchasaurus come back, that gives me hope for Keith Lee, man. Wherever he wants to go, I hope we see Keith somewhere down the road. But I'm just really happy Luchasaurus is back. This will be fun.
You notice Keith Lee been in the cut. He hasn't been in a public eye for a minute, so I hope he's just in the cut, taking care of himself and staying healthy.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
We didn't even pick
Sabre Jr. and Nigel McGuinness.
That's it. I still need
IWGP World Championship.
Exactly. Needs to eat.
This match is going to make Dean Malenko blush. Oh my god.
Yeah, the technicality of the technicals is going to be all over the place.
Yeah, where are you at, Tati? You probably sleep, but you know she's going to rub one out watching this match.
Tati Taker.
A little bean flickage.
The bean flickage. Lights out, steel cage. Do we really care about this right here? This is like why?
Houseway.
This dude Mox be like, what you got going on? Be like, Jesus.
The match has got to be chaotic. I got to make sure that everything's bloody.
Should win. They definitely should win. And what the fuck is this dude like? Omega, my dude, what are you doing? How you ended up here?
No, to quote Bianca, you don't even go here.
Yeah, like that match is so fucking random. I thought it was just gonna be a one-on-one match between Mox and Darby.
Yeah, my canon is this seems to me that I think the match is happening because a lot of people are hurt. So it's like, let's just do a group match to protect everybody. That's the vibe I'm getting. Yep.
Fletcher, the gatekeeper. Of course he won.
No more. Gatekeeper no more. That should be his name. I think they go with the Proto Star Kyle Fletcher, which is a great tag, but I think the Gatekeeper No More Kyle Fletcher.
Gatekeeper
is also...
No More.
I've never seen a Kyle Fletcher match, so I can't go against him or for him. I like Tanahashi, but he ain't good.
He's good. He's very good.
He's really good, yo.
I told you I don't get to catch a lot of this stuff because I don't have cable and whatnot, and I didn't know that I could watch it on Max at the time. Okay.
Well, and I'm not making the right move. They're already making the right move. He's been on TV consistently, so that's good. That's a start. So
hell yeah. I don't know who homie is. Takahashi.
Yeah, that's Hiromu. Hiromu's great.
No,
He's
Hiromu
got money.
Takahashi, he used to be called the ticking time bomb when he was part of Los Ingobernables.
Ain't nobody
Right.
trying to hear that bullshit.
That was NJP. Yeah, no, they were a huge faction in New Japan.
Bombs.
No, they weren't. that was Naito, Tanahashi, Sonata. They were all
Good
they're
old
all
days.
big stars.
Right.
In the last 3 matches, you know what I'm saying? This is what motherfuckers is really investing in. These last 3 right here. Well,
I'm not, but I'll pretend I
not
am.
really this, but you know.
Tony Storm and Athena. Oh my God! You know Russo would name this Ebony and Ivory 2.0.
Yo, Russo, man, you heard that bullshit he's fucking said about Naomi?
Yeah,
What do you say?
Well, he
the
said
guy
a number of things. But the one thing that he said that was just so stupid, he was like, listen, bro, trust me, bro. I know about this business, bro. Naomi wasn't crying about having a baby, bro. She was crying about relinquishing the belt right now, bro. I know this business, bro. I'm like, yo, my dude, but do you know her mind? You like, how the fuck you know what the hell she's thinking about?
the important thing to remember is that who gives a fuck what Vince Russo got to say? He's shit stained. Jim Cornette, whatever.
Congratulations to Trinity. I didn't know she had one ovary, so I understand.
Yeah. I didn't
Right.
even know that either.
Yeah, that's not kayfabe to be talking about.
Right.
He's that's why she's crying, because she didn't want to relinquish the belt. I found it so fucking funny. You sit there and say that, but then when this dude Jey Uso was crying when he won the Intercontinental belt, you didn't understand that. You didn't understand why he was crying when he won that belt.
It's Vince Russo.
Russo's
never
always
give a
been
shit what he's got to
racist.
say.
He's always
He
been
also
racist.
doesn't know what the fuck he's saying.
All right.
Ever. Ever. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me just reiterate. Ever.
What's good,
Yeah,
Color?
no one cares about Becky Hogan. Funny. Yeah,
He wanted to call.
Tony.
Nah,
He wanted to
chill.
call Kevin
Like I
Owens the
was
son of
saying,
Adonis.
Becky Hogan, I ain't gonna lie, yo. I ain't gonna hold you. Her being IC champ right now, it's okay. I ain't gonna lie, she's doing decent work.
I got Tony beating Athena. Here's the thing, right? Whether Athena becomes a champion or not, that's not really the big deal. The big deal is just have her be consistent on Dynamite. If she loses and she's consistent on Dynamite, we're good. So
Well, I got one thing to say about that match, and it's the only thing I'll say. I want to see a cake off. I know that's wrong, but I want to see a cake off. I want to see hip attacks all day.
Shit, they was really making out during the build from man.
I just want to see some cake off. I mean, don't waste Athena's cake. Don't waste Tony Storm's cake. It's a perfect time for a cake off. She couldn't have a cake off with Mercedes Moné. Like Mercedes Moné, but things are what they are.
she is getting
getting
thicker, though. I'll give her that.
Yeah, so what?
I said she is getting thicker. I've noticed.
Shit, both of them been thick.
No,
Tony
I'm saying
Storm and
Mercedes. Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell. You
Yeah,
know
like from before. That's what I'm saying. Like from before, when she first came to like NXT and all that, she was like around this weight from before. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when she had first come to AEW, she lost a lot of weight. She's starting to gain it back now, though.
You know who else is getting thick? She's not a wrestler. I've noticed, because I didn't care for her at all in WWE. She was whatever to me in WWE. But I've noticed these past couple of weeks, Renee, Mox's wife.
Yeah.
Look at any backstage segment she did in WWE. She was like a pancake, and now look at her now. She's like okay, like I see what you're doing. Like all right.
Hey, wait. I gotta make an apology for the cake off comment, because I don't sit up there and objectify them all the time, but I couldn't help it. I had to climb the peaks of Mount Butte, because that is 2 Buttes that are about to go at it.
No, don't apologize, man. Listen. We're not perverts or anything, but the reality is this, man. Sex sells. Dudes want to see. Girls want to see attractive girls on television. You know what I'm saying? So
like, oh please, like all the times the women be salivating over Roman Reigns? Like the fuck out of
Right,
here.
right.
I
You
know.
know,
And it just that here's the thing is that, and I'm gonna. This is a weird tangent, but no one ever accentuates the cakeage. Like, and them two. I've always said that about Tony Storm. I'm like, damn, when I first saw those legs.
see,
I'm like,
what it's
hip
about
attack.
is see what it's about. If you really want to have a successful women's division, like yeah, being great in wrestling is cool. It's the characters and shit. Like I always think about Ruthless Aggression. Victoria
Yeah,
was the crazy chick. Molly Holly was like the girl next door. Lita was like the chick everybody had a crush on. Trish was like beautiful. You had different types and stuff. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like Willow Nightingale, she's like muscular, but she's cute.
yeah.
Then you got Chris Statlander. She's like emo, but kind of has like a sexy goth thing going on. Then you got Tekla. She's just fucking crazy. And then you got Queen Aminata. She's like royalty and shit. I will stand on this. I will stand on this. I've been saying this for like about a year now. I actually think AEW's women's division has way more depth than
It
WWE's
does.
women's division. There's
But
way
what I
more
was gonna say, what I was
characters.
gonna say to add to that real quick, when you was talking about the divas, and people don't give them either of them enough credit, and I'm still mad they never made them a tag team. But I always had a crush on Jacqueline, and she still is good to this day. And I had a crush
Yep,
on
Yeah.
Jazz too, but that was when Jazz was in ECW, because
yep.
you don't know how big Jazz is until she goes against another woman.
Actually, yeah.
You said
I
a
actually
crush
think
on Jazz. That's cool. That's wild.
No, Jazz, you know what it made me have a crush on her was watching her in ECW wrestle the guys, and she'd be in her outfit, and that butt was just there, and she do that. She did X-Pac's finisher. You know, the one where he grabs your head and dives down.
I know.
right.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
X
I
Factor.
think
It's a
Like,
Bronco Buster. Not the
no,
Bronco.
not the Bronco.
The X
Not the
Factor.
Bronco
Excuse me.
Buster.
yeah.
Yeah, the X Factor. When
X
she would do
Factor
that,
face plant.
Paul Heyman's genius. He would always make sure to focus on those tuchus, you see, and they would always bounce prettily, and that hypnotized me. What do you want? I was a kid.
But yeah, the Titus and the Bow, like, yeah, I believe the women's division AEW, I think they have more depth. It's just what it is that WWE has more star power because I've gotten into like arguments with people like this, and they just say none of the girls in AEW have Rhea Ripley star power. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. But like outside of Rhea Ripley, who else do they have? None of the other girls in WWE actually have characters. Like, who is Tiffany Stratton? I don't.
Hey,
She's a
Toph,
champion. I don't know who the
you
fuck she
forgot.
is.
Hey, Toph, you forgot though. Rhea Ripley didn't have Rhea Ripley's character when she was there for like 2 or 3 years before she started doing all that shit.
This is my brutality.
Yeah, she was not. There was nothing special about Rhea Ripley at first.
I even think Rhea Ripley, and again, and I like Rhea. I like her. So this isn't me like shitting on her or anything. I think she's a little overrated. Not it's nothing against
Thank
her.
you.
Nothing against her. When I say she's overrated, I'm not saying she's bad. I think she's overrated in the sense that yeah, she's good, but I can't really tell how good she is because there really isn't anyone for her to really test her. You know, like
No,
Yeah,
I would
Stephanie.
like
like to,
she only has like what a couple of opponents
right?
that she could have a good matches with. Like
Yeah,
let's really be
she
real. The last good match she really had, like as a singles match, was her and Charlotte, and
right. And that
they
was like
on
what, almost 3 years ago? It's
yeah,
been a
Yeah,
minute.
it's going on 3 years. Yeah,
Right. So I think she's good, but I can't really tell how good she is just because of just how limited their roster is with like people on that level. Like I know Bianca's is good. Bianca's better than she is, but for some reason they don't want them to do a one-on-one match. That's neither here nor there. But my point is this: I think AEW's women's division has more depth, and I'll stand on that. So
yeah. No, I get it. But also, Rhea Ripley's also getting. This is where I will defend her. I think it's unfair to keep calling her Aussie China. I mean, even if it's understood, don't got to be said. It doesn't really help her to be for people to call her that. And
but
I don't defend her
before
because
we
I'm
get
not
up
mad.
out of here, who y'all got for the main event? When it comes to Hangman
I
and
got
motherfucking this dude MJF.
I got Hangman winning.
Yeah, it'd be kind of weird to take it off him so fast. But we didn't talk about Cody versus Swerve either.
Oh,
Oh
Okada.
yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. But we
Apparently
all
Swerve
know
has like
Swerve was gonna lose that shit. Man,
apparently Swerve has like a little minor knee injury, so that's probably the out right there.
there you
Ah,
go, right there.
oh, okay.
Swerve, he about to take Swerve out, take him off TV, probably put him in a single leg crab or some bullshit.
Good
I actually
position.
think I get what they're doing. They're trying to protect MJF, but I think the change they made actually, I mean, the match is going to be good, I'm sure, but the change they made, in my opinion, it actually hurt this match because before, when it was MJF is cashing in his contract, it's like, oh, okay, already. But Hangman just won a title, so it's like unpredictable. But now it's like, oh, if you get DQ'd, MJF wins the title. If he gets counted out, MJF wins the title. Oh, and by the way, this is a match outside the contract. So it's like you're stacking the deck against Hangman. It just makes it obvious he's winning. So, yeah.
Yep.
And that just is like we're talking about TK. It's like, my dude, you gotta stop booking yourself into corners. Like, he always does this shit. Like, you gotta get your shit together, my dude. This is a perfect opportunity for you to, bring your A game. Because these, like, not only WWE, when it comes to other promotions, also all these stories is ass. It really don't take much to have a decent story and just follow through with it.
Good versus evil. What happened?
You know what I'm saying? Have a purpose. Why is that purpose happening? What's the outcome of that purpose? And is the outcome feasible? That's it. We learned this in fucking elementary school. Who, what, where, and why.
When and how?
Right. Anyways, I ain't gonna rant.
That's cool. I
I
thought
ain't
that's
gonna
what
lie.
we did.
I'm about to shut this shit down. I'm getting a little hungry. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you, man. What the fuck are we gonna do September 20th, man? That's a pickle.
Ooh. I don't know what
yeah.
September 20th is, but it's supposed to be like free movie day out here too. Supposed to be going with the family if it's my day
The
off.
situation is they're gonna be doing the Palooza, whatever the fuck that show is, and All Out is gonna happen at the same time.
WrestlePalooza.
Yeah, I did try out the ESPN thing last night because according to my cable provider, I get it for free. I tried it out. Man, it lagged like a motherfucker. Then I went online to see if other people were
It's
having
gonna lag
issues.
at first because there's gonna be people that's coming from, there's gonna be people coming from Peacock and all that shit. So it's gonna be flooded over there at like the first couple of streams.
Right.
It's
Well,
gonna be flooded.
I was only asking because if you wanted to try to get a bunch of new viewers, that's probably the live stream to do. It's just I don't know how we're going to be able to do a live stream with both shows running at the same time. I don't. We have to figure that out if you want to try that. I guess I don't know.
Please, you already know I got this.
Besides, he already went up 229. He already went up. Like, I remember when he first hit the G. Now he's already,
You know what I'm saying?
a quarter to two.
Got this in the bag.
I don't.
Yeah,
I'm working on it, but I'm too random.
Yeah, B, sub to my dude over here, B. My dude Anubis. He be
Random content.
But yeah, B, I might do some gaming this weekend, so be on the lookout for that. I ain't gonna lie, I had a long ass week. I'm gonna eat, wash my ass, and call it a fucking night. I'm done. Appreciate y'all for pulling up, B.
Hey, always a pleasure. And I always like talking to you, Toph. I like your in-depth thoughts.
You too, Anubis.
That's what's up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Late night edition. Shit. I'm tapping out, B. I'm running on fumes, and be on the lookout this weekend. More gaming content on the way. And I'm gonna let y'all know the itinerary for the following week. Peace out, motherfuckers.